as they take game one of the NBA Finals. And one of the great playoff runs in NBA history is still alive.
And now, wondering if the Knicks will ever lose again, Soren Petro.
Right you are, Kay. Right you are. Petro in the program on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Thank you for joining us here on a beautiful Thursday. Big clouds rolling in.
Mm-hmm.
Big clouds with personality.
Big clouds.
Like they may be doing something. I think it's going to rain for what, like the next 7 weeks?
Seems like it.
There's a lot of rain on the forecast here moving forward. So enjoy a little sunshine right now. You can enjoy the phone line, 913-3810810.
That's always
Got
sunshine.
something to say?
Yeah.
Then say it, people.
Got something to say.
913-3810810, the phone number, 913-3810810. You can hit me up on the Twitter. It's at Soren Petro, Sorenpetro. An award-winning lineup coming your way today. Nate Bukaty is going to be with us any moment. Any moment, Nate Bukaty will storm in here. We're going to talk about his new book, which I did not bring with me, because that would have made far too much sense.
I have a copy.
I have a copy, too. He gave me a copy.
If you need to look at it. It's,
yeah, it would be
grab
nice, because then I could at least quote the title. You think that maybe, just maybe, I would thank you very much.
Because one of these is for McDowell.
I'm not taking it. I just need to see it. Just hand me one, man.
There you go. You're shaking your head at me. At least I remember to bring my book.
You everything that's ever been handed to you in this building is in that room. You didn't remember. You just don't take anything home, including socks and shirts and.
Yeah.
It's not. I'll be happy. You have the book. You got it on me. Congratulations. It's not because of a witty intellect, however.
I have the book. One of us has the book, the other doesn't.
I do too.
Now you do.
Perfect Pitch. How Kansas City became the heart of American soccer and landed the World Cup, by Nate Bukaty with Rustin Dodd. Forward by Matt Beasler, who you hear.
How about that?
In the program, yeah. Pretty good.
Big names.
I think people
Matt
love
Beasler,
it.
Rustin
Listen,
Dodd.
I know I've talked to Nate a couple of times about it. 1,700 pages seems like a lot.
It does.
Seems like a lot.
And
4-point type?
Yeah.
Yes.
Single space, no pictures.
Are you reading the Bible? No, it's twice as long.
No pictures. I mean, it's...
But I'd go for it. Just dive right. It's a real page turner.
Yeah. War and Peace is like a pamphlet next to this book.
No, it's actually the perfect size. It's 170 pages, easy to read. I don't know what typeset, but Nate Bukaty is an author. He's a published author.
Yep.
Never thought those words would come out of my mouth.
And not self-published, which you can do nowadays. This is
That doesn't count.
actual published.
I mean,
author.
congrats to all you that are self-published.
He had a book signing last week, and it was
he's the real deal.
out.
I'm saying the other people that are like, I'm self-published.
I know you weren't. I was saying that anyone who
power
doubts
to
this,
you.
like he had a book signing last week, and it was sold out in the morning.
Yeah.
For a 6 o'clock book signing.
He's a big deal,
Yes.
Nate Bukaty. You
And
see him on the Apple TV. That's when you know you're big. You know who's on Apple TV? Like Tom Hanks.
Yes.
John Hamm has a show on there. What are the other Apple TV folks? F1 stars
There you go.
are there. And Nate.
And
I made Nate my avatar on Apple TV as well.
Nice.
Yeah, he's
I should.
one of the avatars you can use. Go for it.
And the subtitle of the book, How Kansas City Became Heart of American Soccer, kind of is fits into why people showed up and blew up his book signing. It proved that backed up what the book was about in the first place. What I meant to say. I should have thought about that first.
Yeah, I'm glad you didn't.
Nice
It's always
hat.
better when you're, just rambling.
I dig the new Clemson hat.
I do have a new club. If you're watching on the stream, yeah.
I love simple designs and bright and bold colors. That is my kind of hat. That's 10 out of 10 on my hat.
Okay. You like this one better than the purple with the orange C?
Yes.
Okay. Good to know. So Nate will be here. We'll get his thoughts on my hat. Then in the 3 o'clock hour, we'll play There Can Be Only One, a little Stump the Chumps. Peter Yates-Enoch will join us. Todd Lebo will finally do some work today. Sam McDowell in the 4. Remember, we did a flip-flop.
Mm-hmm.
We had Blair on in the 4 o'clock hour on Tuesday. So if you missed that and you want to hear some Blair today, just make sure you download that podcast. It's on the 810 app.
Yep.
You can download the podcast. It would be hour number 3 from Tuesday, the 4 o'clock hour. But Sam McDowell is in today. And I know because Kyle has yet to figure out how to do the thin line on the on the Excel for the show sheet. Our show sheet is like an Excel that's formatted to be a one sheet. But you can tell when he copies and pastes because he's got the extra bold line. Which, does that irritate you as much as it irritates me?
Little, yeah, pretty much. I don't know how I don't know what he would have copied down from. The bold line should be at the top, not the bottom, if he copied it from the top thing.
Yeah.
That's kind of weird.
We're going to have to work on that with him.
Yeah.
We'll get that figured out there.
Yeah, that is, yeah. Oh, yeah, the job, that's absolutely, the sponsor, that's what happened.
Yeah.
You just can't, thing is, if you just type the J, it puts it there anyway.
Right, so that's
what I was doing.
You've got all kinds of bold lines.
I do a lot of things wrong,
place.
but I think the thin and thick lines
Nope.
should not be at the top of the list.
No, there's many things you do worse.
But
I agree.
But they're on the list.
Good point, Kyle. Not the way I would have, jumped out today. Hey, you really want to crap on me? Let's get to the things I really suck at.
Yeah, I do things a lot worse than that.
I would have just let this look like it was your only blemish. But God bless you. I'm drunk when I roll in sometimes. Haven't showered in weeks. We can get into all that too if you want. But I thought we'd just go with the Excel is still a bit of a challenge.
I think I need to tackle the format on that one a little bit. I can make that a little cleaner.
What do you mean?
I think I can make this a little cleaner.
I made this sheet.
I can make it okay.
What do you think you're cleaning up?
Even the lines in between are a little too dark. Make those a little bit lighter. It separates the hours better.
Don't mess with that. No, just do it the way.
So
been set.
more darker lines is bad.
I'm the
Lighter
only one who
lines
looks
is
at
also
this sheet,
bad.
so I want it the way I want it.
That's not entirely true.
So
darker lines is bad. Lighter lines is also bad.
I want it the way I want it.
I know. It's your show sheet.
David Lesky will be here. Can we move on? Come on in, Nate.
For now.
Way to hustle in, buddy. Super effort. I'm proud of you. Stop on by. So anyway, we got a lot coming your way once we get done with Blowhard here, who's
wow
gonna outword us like 4-1 from here on out. Hey, Nate.
Hi.
Aren't you glad you came in, Nate?
Am I on time?
I don't know. I don't really remember what time. You actually are. He said 2:10, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
But you made it sound like I was late or something, so I didn't know if there was a miscommunication.
Oh, I'm not going to let you. I'm not
Just
going to be like,
waltz
oh, look
in
at
here.
Nate nailing it again.
Hey, great
Like,
to have you here, Nate. I'm not going to say that.
That's not coming.
You just meet him for the first time today?
You think you're
I'm kind of surprised that there was
getting
so much guff. I was expecting a jolly open with no sarcasm.
I thought people might be happy to see me, but how are you, Nate?
Oh man, it's good to see things. I've known you guys for a long time. It's good to know
Been a
that
little
things
while.
haven't changed.
Yeah, yeah. It goes back
Pick it
to
up right where we left off.
1951.
Yep.
I think it was Korea.
Yeah,
If I'm not mistaken. No, it's the 90s though.
it was the 90s, late
1999.
Yeah,
Yeah, how about that?
27 years.
Ooh, boy,
Maths.
Goes back so far.
you don't
that
look at all like you used to.
No,
You were once.
you guys on the
coined-
other hand.
Yes.
Spit image.
You were once coined by Don Fortune as Young Nate.
Yeah,
That's
Young
how long
Nate.
you've been doing it. You were Young
that
Nate.
was-
And now, yeah.
we were all
Yes.
young at one point
Well,
in time.
Yeah.
I think I was 40 when I was in high school.
We've known Nate long enough that Nate used to not like how he looked in a suit because he thought he looked like a kid.
Yeah, I don't like how I look in a suit now for very different reasons.
I wish I looked like a kid.
Oh, that's a lesson
I
to
look
us
like
all.
a kid who got dressed up to go to Easter Mass or something. That's
true.
That's your bitch.
I
back
just
in the day.
wanted somebody to take me seriously like a grown-up. Still waiting for that, but that's all right.
The book.
Yeah, the
Perfect
book.
pitch.
Yeah.
You sold out, he said, at your book signing.
We've
What'd you
sold
have,
out-
8 copies, 10? What'd you go with?
We had double digits, buddy.
Aim
11
low
at
and,
one point.
can't disappoint.
Supply and demand. That's the first rule, right? I don't know how many books they had at Rainy Day Books, but they sold out
Okay.
within 3 days, which was awesome. But the problem is we don't have more books for them yet. They're coming. But you can order one online right now. They're shipping them out and everything. So you can order one online and have it within a couple days probably. But I do love when people support their local bookstores. I did one up in at the Lawrence, Kansas Public Library yesterday, and Raven Books is the local bookstore there, and they sold out as well. That's exciting stuff.
The fact that you decided to write every single copy by hand individually
Took a
may
long
slow
time.
the production
it does.
numbers.
Yeah.
That's impressive, though. I'm proud of you.
I will say this: I'm trying to do the audio version of it right now, and I am absolutely confounded by Amazon's audio standards. Like I read an entire chapter and then submit it, and it goes, nope, turn it up 2 decibels. Then you turn it up 2 decibels, and it goes, nope, turn it down 0.1. You know, it's just I'm struggling with that, but I'm hoping to have the book on record. At
Somebody likes themselves if they cast themselves to be the one for the audio version as well, huh?
That's the way I hate when I buy someone's book because I like them and somebody else is reading the book. I want the author to read it.
Well, this one felt like.
Well, why are you're just cutting yourself? You're right now voicing a book.
Yes, but my book isn't someone else's viewpoint. It's a story.
Yeah,
it's
that's
fiction.
the only thing is this one's a first-person
I see what you're saying.
narrative. So
I was like, I can't believe this. Curtis is literally being paid right now to be the voice of a book on tape.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I'm like, that just sucks. But you guys are crap.
Frauds.
This isn't.
This
Jeff's
honestly
life
is
story.
a bookstore. It's told from a first-person perspective, which was Rustin's idea. I wanted to co-author it with him from like a third-person perspective, but he after telling him a bunch of stories and stuff, he said, we need to tell this in your voice. So that's what we did. Which means I felt like I needed to read it in my voice.
So as you're reading it, are you doing like Curtis? Are you the voice of every character like Curtis is in the book he's doing? Are you like, and that's when Matt Beasler said, Nate, I think we ought to go. Are we getting one of those?
And then when you get to chapter 14, you realize.
Peter Vermeer's impression is killer.
And then when you get to chapter 14, you realize there's a reappearance of a character you didn't voice since chapter 1. You got to go back and listen to chapter 1 to figure out what you did for that character. That kind of thing. You didn't have to do
actually
that?
do that when I read Harry Potter out loud to my kids. I've got a voice for. I'm not sure they're great, but I try to do the voices for all the characters. I did not do that in this book. So.
Okay. Because everyone, like if I were you, like everyone else would be, "Oh, tell you what now," would be the voice that I would be. That's the voice of everyone who disagrees with us.
All dissenters.
I think they are fair control right now. Duh. Burgle, herp-a-derp. You watching the game? That would be the voice I would use. But I mean, you go with whatever you want.
And all
it's your book.
The smart ones are like, wonderful point. Fantastic. I agree 100%.
Let me check my Oxford doctorate here, and
Very good.
that's how we slice it up. Mm-hmm. So what was the idea here? Like what I always like to ask that when we talk to somebody about a book, like what spurred the idea besides the obvious money grab that you're looking for here, but after the money grab, what was the inspiration to writing this book?
Well, I mean, everybody I talked to said that if you want to make a lot of money on a very small amount of work, writing a book is the way to go. If you're trying to maximize, the outcome and minimize the input,
money out.
It's really a good investment.
If you thought a job in radio was paying, how about being an author?
Literally every author I talked to is like, I hope you're not looking to make money off this. I'm just going to put that out there right off the bat.
This pays just slightly under your Big Steps efforts?
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
That's about right, yeah.
A true labor of love.
I spend a lot of time on planes these days, and so I spend a lot of time thinking on planes. And last April, the last few years leading up to this World Cup, most of my emotional and mental energy when it comes to work stuff has been trying to figure out how I can, best maximize what's about to happen here for the city, for myself, for everybody involved. How can I be as big of a part of it as possible? And how can I contribute to two things that are really important to me, which are this town and the sport of soccer that I love a lot. And so I was thinking about those things, and I was just thinking about what an incredible underdog story it was. And honestly, I remember the day that we made that the announcement was made that Kansas City was getting the World Cup. I was hosting that watch party, and I went on the air with you afterwards, and you were the one that pointed out the statistic that all 10 of the other American markets that got picked were top 15 media markets, and that we're like market 33.
Yeah.
And so I was just thinking, like, everybody loves an underdog story. And I also was thinking a lot about how, with what I do for a living now, I work with all of these soccer commentators they're from all over the world, and they don't know anything about Kansas City. And when they come here for a game, I would ask them, hey, what did you think of the town? Because we compare notes on the cities we go to. And honestly, the answer was kind of sad. It was like, it's fine. The stadium was nice. And so I would say, well, what did you do? Well, got to the airport, went to the hotel, kind of a long drive, went to the stadium, kind of a long drive. Stadium was really nice. Went back to the hotel and flew home. And I thought, well, if that's your experience with Kansas City, it is kind of a meh experience. But if you have somebody to kind of take you by the hand and show you around a little bit, you go, wait a second. This place is 100 times cooler than I ever thought. And I don't like the idea of people coming here for this World Cup and having that first experience.
Yeah, where it's just airport to hotel, hotel to stadium, stadium to hotel, hotel to airport. You don't get the flavor.
Yeah, and so I thought, well, was what I started doing with the broadcasters was when they come to town, I try to throw a barbecue at my house. And, tell them really long-winded stories so that they can say, boy, I really love Kansas City now.
Then you go out and play on the soccer pitch.
But we have a soccer field in my backyard. We have a kickabout. We have some, Kansas City barbecue. And a little hospitality. I think that the friendliness is the best thing we actually have to offer more than anything. And guys, the word started spreading around the league. I had guys calling me after all going, hey, man, am I going to get a barbecue when I come to town? And if I can't do that, I try to take them out to some of the places that I think, hey, by the way, you ought to see this place. You ought to learn about this history. And I thought, well, I can't throw a barbecue in my house for everybody that's coming. I wish I could, but if I write this book, maybe it's a way to, the more people I can get in front of that they'll get an understanding of the incredibly rich history that this town has. The soccer is a microcosm of the incredibly rich history that this town has and the really unique personality that this city takes on. And so I that's when I had the idea. It was April 4th of last year. I knew that I had no idea how to write a book, so I texted Rustin Dodd that day, and he said it's a great idea, but it's a super fast timeline, and heard from several publishers who thought it was a ridiculously fast timeline and said no thank you. But finally got a producer. I just started working on the book with the faith that I would get a deal done somewhere with the publisher, and we did. We got the manuscript written within 7 months, so it was a quick, really, really quick turnaround. But we did it. It's a smaller book. It should be a quick read for people.
1,700 pages.
Yeah.
Four type on
Yeah.
You said it's just over twice as long as the Bible?
Yeah, I think that's what. Yeah.
No, it's 170 pages.
Yeah, and it's
the Old Testament of
not like tiny
soccer.
font. It's 45,000 words. It's a pretty quick read. So and we wanted it to be that way because we want people to not be intimidated to pick it up if they're walking through the airport or whatever. But yeah, that was the idea behind it, and yeah, I want to get it out to as many and to as many Kansas Cityans as possible, because I think the more people in this town are armed with the stories and information about why we should stick our chest out and do that adorable Kansas City thing that we do, where we show people how proud we are of the place. I learned a ton researching the book. I thought I knew a lot about the history of Kansas City and the history of soccer in town, and I learned so much in the research project that I know that if you're from Kansas City and you're proud of this place, you will pick up a lot of things you didn't know in the book that'll make you want to tell people, hey, this is why Kansas City is the most important soccer city in America.
So what I'm hearing here is you feel like everybody out there in Kansas City is as dumb as you are.
Yes.
About the history of the town, and so you're gonna learn a lot.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, I feel like you're probably, if you're listening to this, you're probably at least as dumb as me. So buy my book. That's my sales pitch. No.
And it's conveniently priced $99.99.
Yeah, cheap.
It's under $100.
Yeah. And I'll autograph it for an extra $50.
But it's
there you go.
It's two for $190 though, so I mean it's a little bit of a discount.
Yeah,
you get $2 off if you.
For the record, it's a $24 book. The $24 book. So,
okay,
yeah.
All right. Is that the price?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Might be charged tax on that. I can't calculate that.
I think that is the law.
Unless you're in Canada.
Yeah.
No tax in Canada, is that right?
I don't know.
Dollar difference.
So. You mentioned like the fact that people weren't really having an experience in Kansas City. What I thought of when you said that was how different it is from what Matt Beasler, told us about guys coming to town, like signing here, And he, like you, felt, and I'm sure you've had this conversation with him, maybe it's even in the book. I haven't had a chance to read the book because when I was going on vacation, you couldn't get me a copy. Perfect time for me to really dive into it.
You would have read it on one flight, I feel certain.
Okay. You've given me far too much credit for my speed of reading. But he said, like, when guys would come in, sign here, get traded, or whatever it was, they're kind of like, and, it would take like about a week, and then they're like, oh, this place is pretty cool. Mm-hmm. And I think that is it. Like, they were forced to figure out the town, and they all ended up really liking it. And I think that is kind of the experience I have, having gone to school and lived on the West Coast, gone to school on the East Coast and lived on the West Coast, friends that I know that will come here, they'll be like, they usually will never come here unless they have to come here.
Right.
Like, I remember Adam Hill, who writes for the Las Vegas Review-Journal and covers the Raiders. He came here because he was covering the Raiders. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, we'll come in a little bit early. And, and he's like, pretty cool town. It's like, oh, yeah. Hey, you came here kicking and screaming.
Yep.
But you're like, oh, yeah, I think I would come back.
It's a recurring theme in the book. From Gino Schiraldi to Tony Meola to Peter Vermees to Graham Zusi, you could do that in any sport in this town, right? There's a long
George
list
Brett,
of people,
Mike Boddicker, who worked from here, who stayed here,
And players who have played in numerous cities.
Yeah.
And if they play
like
here,
have a good
so
frame
many
of
of
reference,
them,
like what other cities are like.
For the population, it has to have one of the highest percentage of retention of professional athletes. Decide, I'm just going to stay here. And there are many reasons for it. It isn't just the location.
A couple of the stories on that, like Peter Vermees told me a really good one about, because both he and Tony Meola, New Jersey guys that had zero interest in coming here. They had played here a few times. When they got traded here, they were kicking and screaming, not happy about it. In fact, Tony Meola had an agreement with the head coach that he said, "Look, just give me 1 year, and if you don't, I'll trade you back to the East Coast." And then at the end of the year, they had won MLS Cup, and they were celebrating in the hotel after the game, and the coach came up to him and said, "Hey, true to my word, I've got a deal lined up to send you back to New Jersey." And he said, "Can we break that deal? I want to stay." And Peter Vermees' story was he and his wife, married his high school sweetheart from New Jersey. After 1 year here, they had driven back all the way to New Jersey for the holidays, and they were on their way back. And he said somewhere like in Pennsylvania, they were just sitting in the car driving back to Kansas City, and out of nowhere his wife said, I could stay in Kansas City. And he said before he even knew the words were coming out of his mouth, so could I. And of course they did.
Yeah.
And it's really kind of fun. I had as much fun talking to people like that as I do the people like that are born. Bees is born and raised here, so this is his town. And I feel lucky that I get to travel and see a lot of other places, but I've never lived outside of Kansas or Missouri as a permanent resident at any point in my life. And so I feel like I have a decent perspective, but when you talk to people that have lived elsewhere and then say, no, this is where I want to live, this is where I want to set up shop and raise my kids and all those things, it's fun to hear the reasons why. A lot of them are less obvious, clearly. And I hope that people are proud of this town when people come here, and I hope that the people that come here, they're here long enough and have that kind of experience. Not that they all want to move here necessarily. If they do, great. But, just that they go back home and say, man, I discovered one of the coolest places I never would have known about, and is in the middle of America.
Almost no matter where you are from, there's a little bit of your hometown here. Somewhere.
Well, you know what? There's a great point there, Kurtis, and that was one of my favorite things about researching the book was I felt like I just did like a 7-month therapy session about my hometown and what I think of it. The good and the bad. Mm-hmm. And I won't sit here and try to claim that we have a perfect city. We've got all kinds of problems here, just like every major city does. But one of the phrases that you hear all the time is that what a quintessential American city Kansas City is. And I used to always roll my eyes at that, like what makes one town more American than any other town. But as I really dived into the city,
or
dove, whichever the proper term is.
Whatever works for you.
It just kept kind of occurring to me that this is the crossroads of America. From literal senses of like I-35 and I-70 to the railroad switching yards and the Transcontinental Railroad to the Oregon Trail and the California Trail and all these things. Like, this is where almost every thought, good, and idea comes through. And I mean, to the point of the western front of the Civil War, to like, it's not, this town's not northeast, west, or south. It's a little bit of this weird swirling of all of it, which makes this town complicated. It makes it really full of contradictions. It's an incredibly divided city from the outset, but also what city unifies better? And this story is one of them. Like, how do we get the World Cup? Well, we came together like we do when we get behind something in this town. Nobody comes together like we do. It's a town that's incredibly diverse, yet has a terrible history of segregation. It's like almost all of the things that make America a complicated place, you can find right here in Kansas City. More so probably than the cities on the coast, because they don't have the influences of all the other directions quite as much. You might find more diversity in New York City on a global scale, but from a diversity of American thought, this is this is the middle of it all. And it's and I actually think that's something I hope people see too, because I think a lot of people I know a lot of people have images of what they think America is right now. And whether you agree with that image or not, it's a lot more complicated than that. I think we could agree. And Jason Sudeikis had a great line when I asked him about it. He said, Americans haven't exactly been known for their humility since the 1700s. That's not our thing on a global scale. But when you come to Kansas City, because he's brought all of his international friends here to film Ted Lasso, they're going, wait, there's all these humble, authentic, nice people here. That's not their image of America. Yeah. And they find it here. And that's actually a pretty awesome thing. We have a chance to show people what we're really all about.
We're going to take a break. We're going to come back. I want to get Nate's thoughts. Could the World Cup disappoint? Could we be looking at this and be like, oh, wow, hey, hold on. Wasn't what I thought it was going to be. I want to talk to Nate about that and a lot more. His new book is called Perfect Pitch. You should get it. How Kansas City became the heart of American soccer and landed the World Cup. He wrote it with Rustin Dodd, of course, a great friend of Sports Radio 810 WHB, great writer as well. He did the work. Nate just kind of flapped his gums. So quality writing. Don't. You just heard a guy talking about dived. That's not the guy who actually did the writing. That would be Rustin. Right, he cleaned it all up, made it good. It's a good read. Get it wherever you buy your books. You're in the program here on Sports Radio 810 WHB. We're talking to Nate Bukaty. Of course, you hear him on New Day with SSJ. You see him on the Apple TV, on CBS. Where else are you? Fox.
Fox,
see him-
Sirius XM sometimes.
See him on Nickelodeon.
HGTV.
Yeah. Well, gardening.
Is MTV still a thing? I think. I'm
Yeah,
on there
sure,
sometimes.
sure. That's what I hear.
The
It's a
real
big
world.
deal.
I
Yeah.
see the show on Tubi.
I don't know. What's television? What's streaming anymore?
I
You know
have-
what I mean?
Who
Like,
knows? Who knows these days?
It's like
you
five things on my thing. I was like, I have no idea what's on
just
that.
know I can't go last channel when I got to switch, and that pisses me off. You know?
That's the only part.
That's it. The rest,
Everything else
the
is great.
price, love it.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
This a la carte thing's really working out well. for
Oh,
all
it's
of
great. Everyone who talked about how great that'd be, boy, you guys nailed it.
Yeah.
Yep, you did. Shocking. American companies found a way to screw the little guy. I just didn't see that coming.
First time it's happened.
Yeah, I know. Nate Bukaty is with us here in the program. His new book is called Perfect Pitch, How Kansas City Became the Heart of American Soccer and Landed the World Cup. It is co-written with Rustin Dodd. There's been some people, like the news dropped, that FIFA had been squatting on tickets
Yep.
and hotel rooms and God only knows the toilets. I heard they were hoarding toilets. I don't know what they were doing, but hotel rooms and tickets for sure. And then they just dropped them about like 3 or 4 weeks ago, and it's like, okay, now they're all back out in the market. And that had some people saying, "Uh-oh, we might have some problems," right? Like that not through anything Kansas City did, but that. First of all, can I ask, do you have any idea why that was done? Was that done in every city? And if so, why?
I'm not enough of an expert on the economic realities of it. I've read some things. I mean, I know there's some people that have said that the way they did the lottery, like the 3-tiered lottery system. I got my tickets on the 3rd try, and it was a way of like creating a false demand. Like you only release a certain number of tickets in the first lottery, and then a few people get them, and that makes everybody want the next, and it makes you feel like these tickets are going to be incredibly hard to get. So they can, and this is the first World Cup where they really had no government regulations on what they can do with the ticket prices, free market America, and so I think that some of it was to try to manipulate the demand for the tickets. I'm not sure about the hotel situation, why they did that. I don't know if that's just hey, we might need all these hotels, and I think a lot of what FIFA does is we can. We're FIFA, and they run the most popular entity of any kind in the world. And so they can kind of make their demands of how they want. In terms of what it means for Kansas City, I don't know what to expect. It does sound like it's not going to be at the level of some of the numbers that we were given, right? But I think we also have to remember that a lot of travel is not going to happen until people know who and when is playing where, which we have a quarterfinal game, we have a knockout round game here. That will change the numbers on a lot of things as well. And I wonder, as we're now getting upon it, if people in the region might not see, hey, by the way, the hotels aren't as expensive as they said they were a year ago. Let's go make a trip. Let's go to Kansas City. Let's be a part of it. I think people got scared off by the reports of how big the crowds were going to be too. But the only part that I feel qualified to say is that in my experience watching World Cups, I feel like there's a life cycle to the event itself. And there's usually a life cycle leading up to the competition of negativity. And about legitimate things, like not things that I would sit here and try to poo-poo in any way. There's corruption. There's global conflict. There's all kinds of things. I mean, the 2 World Cups ago was in Russia. The last one was in Qatar. There were all kinds of stories at that time coming out about human rights atrocities and building the stadiums in Qatar, and the way that the government policies were towards people of the LGBTQ plus community, things like that. Like they were getting arrested, and those reports were all very legitimate. It's not like those things weren't real stories. But those kind of dominate the news cycle, and then all of a sudden they put the ball down and they kick it off. And I think it's kind of the beauty of soccer. The thing that people love about it is the game itself is not the problem. The game is beautiful. The game is wonderful, and it brings people from all over the world together. And that's what actually happens once the tournament starts. So I think we've kind of been living in that negative cycle to this point. And I think that on June 11th, when they kick the ball off, it's going to be a party unlike we've ever seen in this town for the next month and a half. What is the economic output for that long term? I'm not qualified to answer that at all.
It's not something you're going to measure right after the finals.
Right.
It's going to be what is the residual effect. It's going to be the echoes of it for years is the idea.
And so this is a story that one of my favorite stories in the book, and to me it's a story. And
by the way, just because before you get to that story, because I know it might be Saturday before you're done, but I think the one thing that is important is like not to be a success, to have an event in your town and for it to be considered a success does not have to be $1 in, $2 out. Like you can do something where the experience, and it's why I would encourage everybody to get out. We're going to be down at the Fan Fest and get out and experience as much of it as you can, because it's potentially a once in a lifetime event. For many people, it will be a once in a lifetime event, and the experience is worth something. It's not just we spent $28 million as a city, and we only generated $25 million. It's a disaster. Well, no, there is something to being a city where the World Cup came to your town and you were a part of it. There's something to that.
100%, and we don't know what economic. I was telling you this off the air.
It's also possible that they'll spend, I don't know, $10 million, $20 million, whatever they're spending.
Yeah. And
we'll see over the next 20 years. $2 billion in growth of companies that locate here because like, oh yeah, that's a good spot. Oh, we'll be here. It may be a tremendous financial whirlwind. I don't know, but that's not the only way to measure it.
I talked to enough of the business leaders like Cliff Illig and Peter Maluk in this town who talk about the way business gets done in Kansas City. The reason Peter Maluk keeps his business here instead of moving it to the east or west coast where a lot of his clients are is because they prefer the way business is done in Kansas City, where your reputation goes around town, and if you go around screwing people over, everybody in your peer group knows about it and will come after you. They like that. And so how many businesses get moved to Kansas City or start in Kansas City, or partnerships happen because of these business leaders from all over the world, coming here and getting to know the business leaders from here? I don't know the answer to that part. But in terms of, if you want to know what kind of lasting legacy significant sporting moments and sporting ideas could have, this is Lamar Hunt's vision for Kansas City. This is why he sold Cliff Illig and Neil Patterson on buying the Wizards at the time that he did. He said, if you want to be a world-class city, you have to have world-class sports in Kansas City. It's the most important part. It's what puts Kansas City on the map. You got to keep the global game in Kansas City, because if you don't buy the team, it's going to move. But here's the cool part about it. You want to talk about like butterfly effects and how a city, imagine how different the landscape of the city would be. Lamar Hunt in 1963 didn't know anything about Kansas City relatively. He'd been maybe a couple times. He didn't know anything about the game of soccer whatsoever, and he had just fallen in love with a lady named Norma Noble. He had gone through a divorce. And in 1963, all three of those things would come together to change the landscape of this city and the American sports in ways that none of us would have guessed. He moved the Kansas City Chiefs here because of Mayor Bartle's vision. He got on a plane and went to Ireland to visit Norma Noble. He wanted to see if she really was the one, and all he liked to do was go to random sporting events. He just loved going to bowl games. He was obsessed with, any sporting event and the pageantry of it all. So he took her to a Shamrock Rovers soccer game and stood in the normal supporter section, the standing room only section, and they had the time of their lives, to the point where he came back and was convinced. So in the same year, he fell in love with Norma Noble, the city of Kansas City. He called Arrowhead Stadium his favorite place on planet Earth, and the game of soccer, to the point where he got involved with the NASL, owned the team in Dallas. That league folded. Then he brings the World Cup here in '94, tried to get Arrowhead Stadium as a site for that when it didn't work, but as a part of that agreement, they had to start a league, right? That's the only reason Kansas City got a team in MLS, was because Lamar Hunt loved Arrowhead Stadium so much. That league was going to fold 5 years later. 2001, they were on the phone. I talked to Clark Hunt about this in the book. They were on the phone, and all the owners said, we're hemorrhaging money. We're all out. We want to fold the league. Lamar Hunt's already been a part of one soccer enterprise that folded. Now the other one's folding in front of his eyes, and his answer was, what if I buy 2 more teams?
Well, I think they ended up having a face-to-face meeting with Anschutz, Hunt, and Kraft.
The only 3 owners.
Team.
Yeah.
Lamar owned 3, and Anschutz, I think, owned whatever the
6.
rest 6. And they had a meeting.
Kansan, by the way.
And it was half of the conversation was shutting the league down.
Yeah.
And then the other half was, okay, what if we make it go? And then that's where they adopted a lot of things like, one, let's count the clock up. Let's stop Americanizing soccer. Let's go.
Yeah.
So there's in Lamar Hunt's biography, there's a great telling of that about how they went around talking to people that were watching EPL, and they're like, why aren't you going to the MLS? No, why not? Well, because the games don't end in shootouts.
Yeah.
There should be a tie, and your clock's going the wrong direction. And, all the things that the MLS thought they had heard from non-soccer fans what they thought soccer should be.
Yeah.
And they had built their league structure around that, and then they went,
we need to appeal to soccer fans first before we worry about people that don't.
And then
even
grow
like it.
soccer fans. Don't try to convert football fans.
I remember what they had in our conference room, the renaming of Sporting Kansas City. What?
Well, the
and
reaction
the logo,
was like,
and everyone in the room went,
yeah.
okay, good luck with that. I can't imagine
Yeah.
that was
But
one of the biggest moves they ever made.
The point being is like, okay, what difference can a guy make, or can an enterprise make, can a sporting event make? If Lamar Hunt doesn't fall in love with those 3 things in 1963, what is this town right now? If the Chiefs don't move here, what is this town right now? The World Cup's not here. The World Cup's not even in America. That league that they thought was going to fold and had 3 guys owning 10 teams in the league. Now
And by the way, one of the things they all agreed was like, we got to own one team.
Yeah, at some point,
Like, not that they didn't like, potentially having, all this, but like, for the good of the league, for the competition of the league, like, we can't be owning multiple teams.
They only bought those teams to keep the league afloat. That he wasn't because he wanted to, but that's how much he believed in it. And by the way, another recurring theme about Kansas City, the pioneer phrase we use a decent amount, from Lewis and Clark to Walt Disney to the guys that started Cerner and Lamar, all these, this idea of, to be a pioneer, you almost have to believe in something that everyone else thinks is a folly.
Yeah.
And that even is proven to you as a folly.
The greater fool.
Yeah, and Lamar loved to call his AFL group the Foolish Club and all that. And so I just think, this enterprise, if we do it right, if we lean into it, if we embrace it, has a chance to be the kind of thing that 30 years from now we're saying, man, what would this city be like if we hadn't had that World Cup to kick off all these other things that are happening now? And that's what I hope it really is.
Yeah. We're talking to Nate Bukaty. We'll take a break. One more with Nate. His book is out. It's called Perfect Pitch, How Kansas City Became the Heart of American Soccer and Landed the World Cup. He co-wrote it with Rustin Dodd. Pick it up. It's a great way to dive in to the history of the city and get yourself ready for the World Cup, which starts next week, people. It's finally here.
Crazy.
It's been a long way away for a long time, but now it's here. We're on it.
It's like that scene from Monty Python when the guy's running into the church, Sir Lancelot, and it looks like he's 100 yards away over and over and over and over again, and then all of a sudden he's right there.
Yes.
That's what I feel like this World Cup is.
Just like Monty Python. That's exactly what I was thinking. It's like I was thinking it was more like the French guy on the wall going,
Yeah. Well, there's definitely French people taunting us right now.
Yeah, that's
somewhere.
for sure.
Even the second time.
One more with Nate Bukaty next here in the program. We're talking to Nate Bukaty here in the program. His book is called Perfect Pitch. How Kansas City became the heart of American soccer and landed the World Cup. You can get it wherever you buy your books. If they're sold out, just order it. A lot of the bookstores are selling out, as a matter of fact. So get them wherever you can. Nate, I want to ask you real quick, what do you think of the U.S.'s chances of performing in this World Cup, of us, watching the last 8, the last 4?
I think the chances are all over the map with this team. I mean, I genuinely.
We know this, but they didn't keep enough midfielders.
I've been told that quite a bit.
I've been reading a little.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
That's not just my eye.
Yeah.
Others have told me
It's an
that.
astute observation, especially defensive midfielders. They only have
they're short on that for sure.
Yeah, and that actually could
Clearly playing 3 back on the defensive line.
Yeah, you got it.
Well, I've read a couple things.
Yeah.
I'm having a hard time running the ball, though.
It's true.
Not
Very, very fair observation.
That's all RPOs,
kick coverage.
There's that kind of news cycle I was talking about earlier of negativity leading up. Certainly been a fair share of that for this U.S. team, and some of it I think justified. Others, I think it's kind of like when we try to dive into the results of a Chiefs preseason game where you're like, okay, what can we really take from this? Well, there is talent on this team. There's enough talent for this team if the cards fell right to get to the quarterfinals, and then, hey, maybe even make it to a semifinal, but it would really the cards would have to fall right. There's enough talent on the team to do that. Can they find a sense of identity and unity and drive and all those things? That's to be determined, because this group of players hasn't really shown us that at any point yet. Now, they're on home soil, and it's kind of like, the NCAA tournament. Sometimes you see a team in the first round look terrible, but they sneak through, and then all of a sudden they go on a run, right? Sometimes all it takes is one moment, and then all of a sudden the whole group galvanizes and believes. I think it's going to take something like that for this team.
I was watching the France-England match. France won it last time, right?
Yeah. They lost the most epic game ever to Argentina,
yeah,
and then 2 times ago they won.
I was watching last year's France-England game, and it was 1-0 France, and then a penalty kick, and Harry Kane knocks it in. It's 1-1. Then it's 2-1 France. They get another penalty kick, and Harry Kane misses. Right, just boots it over the top, and I was like, that's the match that the U.S. wins. Like that. That's how they get deep, is they win one of those.
Yeah.
Where there's, they create opportunities. They were legit penalty calls in this, but France was clearly the superior team. But England was right there to where they could have sent it to, into extra time, PKs, if Harry Kane can just knock in another PK, and I think that's where we are. We're needing up, like you said, cards to fall right. But it's not out of the realm of possibility that this team could go deep.
Not at all, and they should advance through their group. Now, look, in this tournament, the top 3 teams in this group will very likely advance, so they really should advance through their group. But I think one of the things that they've really got going for them now is that almost every single guy on this roster is playing in a league and for a team that's playing against the best leagues and teams in the world. They're in the same league as these guys, so they're not going to freak out when they see a Harry Kane or even a Lionel Messi on the field. These guys have been on stages like that with this type of competition, and they've proven they belong on the field with them. Doesn't mean they're necessarily better players than them, but they belong on the field with them. So I think that's a real positive for this team. They've got incredible talent at the striker position. Better than they've probably had, but they need to come together. They need to become a team, and that's something we just really haven't seen from them yet.
I think I was reading one ranking, 22nd was where they were ranked, in one of them they said, okay, let's rank all 48 teams. They had them about 22nd. You think that's about where they are?
I think that if the way they've played, that's probably what they deserve. I think their potential is much higher. I think they have a top 15 type potential. I really do, and type of talent on the roster. But you know how that goes. Talent only gets you so far. You got to go out and play.
Yeah. Nate, congratulations on the book, first of all, just getting it done. You mentioned how hard it was when we got things started. It's called Perfect Pitch, How Kansas City Became the Heart of American Soccer and Landed the World Cup. Congratulations on the book, and looking forward to the actual event.
Yeah, hey, thanks for having me on, guys. And I just want to apologize to Matt Beasler's dad, Greg, who we called a dentist. He's actually an eye doctor. And I know that because he was my eye doctor, so that's one error that
you
we
nailed
found in
it.
the book. Yeah.
The only one?
That's it.
I'll get to look at it.
All right, the last time the Knicks lost, it was not the top story in sports world. What was? Brought to you by Twin Peaks.
Only one right answer. There can be only one right answer. That's the deal. Petro, Seaboldt, Collier with you. We welcome Todd Lebo, Peter Yates-Enoch. We kick Nate Bukaty to the curb.
It's hard to get him out.
It was great talking to Nate.
He was hanging onto the door jamb like, I don't want to leave.
I'm not going. I got more to say. I didn't finish my first story. That's what he was saying on his way out. No, it's always great to talk to Nate. And congratulations on his book. If you missed it, we'd encourage you to go get the podcast at 810WHB.com. On that 810 app, we're talking to Nate about his book, Perfect Pitch, How Kansas City Became the Heart of American Soccer and Landed the World Cup. Great stuff. If you missed it, go listen to it. From one author to another. Not you, Todd.
No.
Pete Enoch. How are you, Pete?
Good, buddy. How about you?
Good. No complaints.
Nice hat.
Thank you. Like that? That came from the trip.
Steve Fuller would be proud of you.
He would be.
Yes,
he would be. So would the fridge.
Yeah, right.
William the Refrigerator Perry, my Clemson.
People don't realize Clemson's got a pretty good history of football.
Yeah, they're
They're
pretty good.
darn good. And I'm not just talking about the last 10 years. I mean, back in the 50s and 60s, they were pretty good.
Yeah, they won a championship in what, 81? 80?
Danny
81?
Ford.
81.
Danny
yeah.
Ford. Yeah,
Perry Tuttle.
Yeah, right. They had a lot of pros in that team.
a little bit of history.
Yeah, good to see you, man. It's exciting time of the year, huh?
Yeah, it is. We got World Cup starting next year. We got OTAs and mini camps going on. We
Royals
have great
playing tonight.
baseball with the Kansas Jayhawks in the Super Regional.
Yeah, absolutely.
The
So we had a
Royals
couple
won
things going on.
series.
Sporting Kansas City's playing better
Yeah.
of late. Take a little break here.
Yeah.
With the World Cup coming here. Yeah.
Get these guys in
What
blue
to
off
complain
their
about?
ass, and they'll be fine.
Good luck with that. Let me know
Yeah.
how you're going to do it.
14,
I'm all ears.
14 under is going to be a tough road.
Yeah.
Tough road.
No doubt. No
Make
doubt.
up a game every series.
Sure. Just don't lose a series the rest of the way.
It'll work. Do the math on it. It's
Yeah.
going to be good.
That's about what it takes now to get there. All right. There can be only one. Where did we start last week? You have not sent me the results, have you?
Oh, I have not. I will.
I got to fill out the sheet.
I will.
It's like last week didn't happen. I'm on vacation. This guy sweat me. He goes, you send me your answers? I wrote all the there can be only one questions. Could you at least send me your answers? And they threw in a ninth one. Where'd the ninth one come from?
Just if we need
Bonus.
to fill a little bit
Did we
more
need
time.
it?
No, I never.
Good,
asked.
because I didn't answer. You got 8. Literally was like, I don't know where I was. I have no idea. But
He's been busy in there. He's been on the air.
I know. It was a
Does
big
a hell
deal.
of a good job, too.
Well, let's settle down. Work in progress. Work in progress. No, he does do a very good
I think
job.
he does a nice job.
Absolutely. All right, are we ready, boys?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so last time I was here, Kurtis started. So, Lebo, did you start last week?
I can't remember last week, but
Oh, well, then
probably.
you're going to start this
Okay.
week. Screw you, Todd.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying here. Let's
I'm
open
in.
with that little gem. Todd, I'll begin with this. What is the biggest name on the Royals roster that will be traded at the deadline?
And it can be nobody.
You could go down that road
Yeah.
if you think they're going to do nothing.
Stand pat.
Could
because
be a
they will have
minor
won all these
leaguer.
games. I will say Michael Waka.
Michael Waka. Pete.
I'm going to say the Marlboro man, Seth Lugo.
Seth Lugo. Okay, everybody going down the pitching road here. Kyle, who do you think's the biggest name that's going to be dealt at the deadline, by the deadline?
I'm gonna go Waka too.
Michael Waka. I'm going to tell you, I think you guys have lost your mind. Do you think they're actually... I would not mind it because I think he'd bring the biggest return, but I don't think there's any chance with Chris Bubich moving on or still hurt, Cole Reagan's hurt, you think they're going to trade one of the arms they've got?
I kind of want to say they're not going to do anything, but
I think you guys are getting way too excited. Daniel Lynch
Damn it.
will be the biggest name that is dealt by the Kansas City Royals. You can have the...
I know. That's what I had.
Yeah,
I was
Daniel
like,
Lynch?
I'll be
Okay.
edgy. And
if you're
even-
both right, that's okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll go Daniel Lynch.
I'll go-
I don't
yeah.
think
DL4.
they're going to move. And I think literally everybody should be on the block. Like this, like everybody but. Stop with the buts.
Yeah, everybody.
Like your small
Yeah,
market
right.
baseball, everybody's available. That includes Bobby Wood Jr.
Yeah, absolutely.
Will they trade Bobby Wood Jr.? Is there a scenario where they trade him anytime soon? Probably not.
If they get Myles Garrett back, maybe.
Yeah, well, okay.
They get Herschel Walker.
Yeah.
Get him.
No, but should they, like, if somebody goes, hey, we're interested in Bobby Wood Jr., should they hang up the phone? No, they should
no,
listen
they
to what
shouldn't.
they're offering.
Talk.
Always listen.
Negotiate.
All right, Pete. Let's talk about this. The 2026 Chiefs defense ranks where in points allowed? Last year they were 4th. Before that, 2nd, 16th, 8th, and 10th. A lot of turnover. 6 draft picks invested in 4 players in the draft, couple of free agent signings, but some departures with some good players like Trent McDuffie and Jalen Watson. They were 4th in points allowed last year, 2nd, 16th, 8th, 10th. Where do you put them this year?
I think they're going to show a little more remorse about their linebacking crew, and I think this will be about 9.
9th. Okay, Pete goes 9th. Kyle?
Yeah, because of that turnover, I'm going to go 11th.
11th for Kyle. I hate it. I had 10th, but I'm going to go ahead and show some more confidence in Steve Spagnuolo in this draft. I'm going to go 6th. I was going to go 10th, but I'm not sitting in between 9th and 11th, so give me 6th. Curtis?
8.
8th for Curtis. Tad?
I think the offense should be better, maybe a little more high-scoring games. That surprised me that they were that good on points last
They were
year.
6th, actually.
What did I say?
It's 4th.
6th. That's still better than I kind of
That's
thought they
still,
were.
yeah, it's still pretty solid.
Shut your mouth, correcting me. Did I screw that up? It
According to
was
Pro
about
Football
2:30 in the morning that
Yeah.
I hatched this.
I'll just say 10th.
question.
10th,
10th.
which would be fine.
Okay. 10th for Todd. Todd goes 10th. All right. Who wins? This one we are to Kyle. Who wins the NBA Finals in how many games? 1-0 right now for the Knicks. What do you got?
Well, last week I was the only guy to take San Antonio to advance. But I'm going Knicks. Team of Destiny.
Knicks in how many?
6.
Knicks in 6. We haven't gotten into the finals yet, but I am intrigued by it. Tomorrow night's going to tell us a lot.
Yeah.
Was this just kind of a worn-out Spurs team, and
Just
now
in
maybe the
game
rest
one at
evens
home,
up?
It's a bad recipe.
It is a bad recipe. Is this just a bad matchup? You know, the T-Wolves won game 1 against the Thunder, and everyone's like, oh, I don't. All the ESPN talking heads we talk about, I don't know how the Thunder even win a game. Like, there's always a gross overreaction to the first one. I heard some of that, but I do think the Thunder are a better team against the rest of the league than the Spurs are, but the Spurs were a bad matchup for the Thunder. So I am going to go... I'm going to go Knicks. I'm going to go Knicks in 7. I know that'll be on the road, but I'll take it. Curtis.
I also will take the Knicks in 6, although it's interesting. The Spurs were the 6th team ever to lose Game 1 of the NBA Finals at home by at least 10 points. 3 of the other 5 went on to win the series, including the Warriors back in 2022. So it's not a death knell, but it did flip the overall odds in the Knicks' favor. I think it's more than just fatigue. The Knicks are on a roll. I think they're going to probably lose tomorrow night, but I think they will. They'll correct things when they get back home. I think they win it in 6.
Lebo.
I'll try Spurs in 7.
Spurs in 7. Okay.
Back home, win the last one. I think that's it.
Peter Yates.
I take Knicks in 7 because my idol is their owner. I love that man. He's been so nice to me over the years. Dolan.
Yeah. Okay.
He is just, what a nice man. He
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
He deserves one.
I think you're the only guy with that opinion. That's interesting. Very, very interesting. All right. Let's go back to the Royals here. We'll start with me. How many stolen bases does Bobby Witt end with this year? He's got 20 right now, which puts him on pace for 52. I put me down for 50. I think he is going to push for 50 because I think that's about all they're going to be playing for at the end or some kind of statistical things. So, Curtis.
48.
48 for Curtis. Lebo.
I'd written down 47. That's a really bad guess on this now, though.
You got 47 and below until somebody else chimes in.
45.
45 for Lebo. Pete.
One up on Curtis, 49.
49 for Pete and Kyle.
59.
59. Why don't you just go to 60?
60.
He's not crazy.
No, you pick whatever number you want.
No, I'll go 60.
I'll go 60.
Not much to play for, like you said. He's going to be running wild.
Okay, good. That also gives me a little bit another number that I win with. So thank you. If you want to go for 90, throw it down.
Hypnotized right here. You tricked him.
Throw it down. How you like what I did there? That was pretty smooth, I thought. All right, let's go to the Stanley Cup playoffs. They're back in action tonight. You'll hear it here on Sports Radio 810 WHB. We've got the Golden Knights of Las Vegas Curtis, who are up 1-0.
We got to do the number of games too.
Number of games. Who wins and how many games?
I'm going to say Vegas in 6. They seem to be able to win the kind of games that opponents of the Panthers seem to lose. Those 3-2, 4-3, 5-4 games. I think Vegas is just as good at that situation.
Knights
now they're
in
up 1.
6.
They've already won a game on the road. I'll take the Knights in 6.
Knights in 6, says Curtis. Todd Lebo.
Let's go Knights in 5.
Knights in 5. Not buying this Carolina crap.
No, I was told by a hockey friend that the West is the best
Okay.
this year. So
There you go.
and they got
West
that was a thrilling
side.
one the other day. So
Yeah.
they're going.
Pete.
Being for a tie, I'll go Knights in 6.
Knights in 6.
But I still want Montreal to win.
They're
though
not gonna make it.
I know it.
I know. I wanted them to win too.
Well, I don't know if they might play yet. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. Hold your breath. Let me know how that comes out next week. Kyle.
Sweep, Knights in 4.
4.
Knights in
Wow.
4. Wow.
Thought I was being bold.
Okay. I think Carolina's.
Carolina's right there for you.
They're just as annoying as the Knights. I mean, they'll screw around in this. I'll give me the Knights in 6. I'm on that track as well. All right, Russell Wilson. This will be interesting to see how I grade it on down the road. Is Russell Wilson a success as a studio analyst for CBS, Todd?
No.
No?
Is he going to bring his own special coaches in there to have a little room for him?
I don't know.
Like he did in
He
Denver?
might have his own office.
his own office, his own people.
Maybe he'll do it, from his house.
Yeah. I don't think so.
Jeff Passan style.
It's interesting. I guess he retired yesterday. It feels like he retired 6-7 years ago.
Yeah.
The last time he played a
But-
game.
but-
And I watched him play. I watched him play his last. I was in New York for the Chiefs game when they were all chanting to get him out of the game.
One of the most
That was the last game he played?
I think the last game he started. And Dart took back over.
One of the most disastrous goal-to-go performances I've ever seen from a quarterback. Let's just throw the ball into the stands.
And that's not even the
almost.
Super Bowl. That was
Yeah.
just a Chiefs game.
Yeah.
Threw it into the stands on 4th down.
Yeah.
Yeah, just swing.
But I'm not
That'll-
throwing a pick on my list.
No, come on, my numbers. I got to get in the hall.
He's got to take a page out of Alex Smith's book and run for 2 yards.
He just seems a little too smoothie for me.
Okay.
You know,
Pete?
He wants to be in Hollywood so bad. No, he's not going to be a success.
Okay.
it reminds me a little bit like. Listen, I'm not going to run down Tony Gonzalez, but let me run down Tony Gonzalez. He always seemed like a little too cool for school guy, and he worked for every single network. Right? It was somewhere here for a couple
He's
years.
still at
right?
Amazon.
Yeah, so he's doing something. Is that a success that you had to go to 4 places? Maybe. But I think Russell Wilson.
Was Marcus Allen a success?
No, he
No,
lost
he
his
was
jobs.
awful.
He'll be better than Marcus Allen, but worse than Tony Gonzalez because I don't think people will keep
How
hiring.
about the compared to Brady?
No, Brady's good.
You like Brady?
He's got a 10-year
He's getting
deal.
better. He's
Yeah,
getting
good.
better.
He's taking lessons now. And
I think he's actually got a personality. Anything Russell does, I will look at him as fake.
Yeah, that's what I say. I think he's when multiple players have said he's the most insincere person they've ever played with. But we also thought maybe that makes him better. Maybe he's successfully insincere. But if your own teammates know you're full of crap,
The Hall of Famers
I think the
friend?
viewers will know it as well.
No, he's going to come up just short.
He'll probably
That's what I
get
think.
it.
No, I don't think so. I don't think they'll win championship and one loss. I don't think that's going to get
They
him
win
there.
if they win it in 14, maybe get a couple.
It's a great
that might
story.
work, but-
I mean, it's a great story. His
Yeah.
career. It's a great story.
Kyle?
I don't want to hear it anymore though.
I mean, what's the scale here from
It's Petro's
Tony
grading
Romo
scale.
at
Don't worry
the
about
bottom?
it. Tony Romo was a huge success.
I mean, is he a success? I mean, we'll debate it.
if Russell Wilson ever got to be the #1 broadcaster,
I mean, if
that's a
he
success.
doesn't make it through the year, no, he
Okay,
failed.
right.
I mean, if he makes it through the
He's
year,
just
but
supposed to
everyone's
sit in
saying
the
he
studio,
sucks,
right? He's going to be in the studio.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
say yes. He's gonna be a cornball, but I'm gonna say
He's
yes.
going to be sitting there with Bill Cower.
So
Who they kick out? They're going to have a 19
Matt
person
Ryan
desk?
was taking the Falcons.
Okay, that's right.
So my two. So
off the top.
this is here's what I like. The national network TV execs are not strong with a lot of their decisions.
No.
Like they make a lot of bad decisions, and my theory is that because it's people that have nothing to do with programming that are making the call, and so they're just like, oh, I know that name. No, he played for the Giants. First of all, everybody in New York thinks anybody who played for the Jets or Giants is automatically like, whoa, we got that guy who had 5 seconds in Kansas City as a wide receiver under Todd Haley. Was it Amani Toomer? Did he come through here? Who was it? Somebody put him on in like sports talk radio, and I'm like, why? Boy, he played for the Giants. I mean, I think was it Amani Toomer?
I
Didn't he
don't
come
think
by
Toomer
here
was
for
here.
5 minutes?
I'm going to look at it.
And he didn't even make it through camp. It was in St. Joe, like
Could've been,
last year in
yeah.
St. Joe. I think it was a Monty tumor. And I'm like, this is not going to work. So they'll put anybody that had 5 minutes in New York on and think that'll be good.
And Russell had a famous girlfriend too, right?
That's
She's
what I
a
mean,
singer,
Hollywood.
all that
Yeah.
stuff.
Hollywood's
But-
in his.
But I would like to think that they've had enough failures at CBS with their decisions that they're actually trying. And if you go down this road, like I also think they understand that he was incredibly unpopular, yet they're still putting him on the television. It makes me wonder, like, did he do some tryouts and they went, not
Yeah, he's really
bad.
good. Maybe he'd come out and say
He
something.
might end up on 60 Minutes.
But most of them
Fired
suck,
enough
so I'll
of
say
them
no.
already.
No.
All that being said, I am intrigued by why they would make this higher, but in the end, I'll say no. I like Kyle's yes being by himself. If Kyle had said no, I'd have taken a shot at yes, but no, I'm on no. Curtis?
No.
It's a no.
No. I think it won't take long. People will start going, you know what? I think Russell Wilson's full of blank.
Is he
Looks
full of
like-
blank, or is he just... Did we just not realize that he's a goof until
Yeah,
he
he's a
started
little bit
losing?
He strikes
a
me as
cornball.
he strikes
Yeah.
me as, yeah. But usually
Fake apology. He's Eddie Haskell
yeah, it's
to get a little leave
it
it to
seems
Beaver.
like everything
That's what
he
he seems
says
like to me.
or says is intended for the effect that it has on the people who are watching it. I don't think he's ever himself, and I've kind of felt that way before I started hearing about it. I was like, what?
And maybe we're wrong. Maybe he was always putting on an act. Because I think Tom Brady did put on an act when he was in New England because everyone had to, because that's the way that organization works.
Right.
But it was like a boring, dumb act, and now you see the real guy.
But you know what? Brady, when we covered, and it was the quarantine Super Bowl, when we zoomed in on the Chiefs Bucks Super Bowl, like his answers were really thoughtful. He actually gave something. I was like, well, this guy
Who's he
might
playing
actually.
for then?
He's playing for the Bucks.
Okay.
No, I know.
Okay,
I'm
yeah.
saying to your point. I'm not disagreeing.
Yeah,
I'm
we
agreeing
started
with your point.
seeing-
I'm like, once
yeah.
he got away from there, you're like, okay, I could see where, okay, if he wants to go into TV,
Yeah.
he has something to say.
For sure.
And so, I don't know. I'm intrigued. I think Russell Wilson could end up being like a villain. Like if he comes out guns blazing, like that pass sucks.
Let's
like
go.
you can't.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell he's doing. Then he's got a chance to succeed. I think instead he'll try to be everything's rosy and everyone's buddy, and he'll suck.
I have to throw some flowers at your feet. Amani Toomer signed to a one-year
Thank you.
contract with the Chiefs August in 2009, released before the final roster cuts.
Wasn't there
Went on
long.
to join our friend Dan Schwartzman on NBC
That's right.
Sports
See, I
Radio,
told you.
going deep with Amani and Dan.
What year was that?
I actually knew it was with
2009.
Schwartzman. I wasn't going to throw
Yeah.
Schwartzman under the bus,
Well,
though.
but it wasn't
Well, he
his
probably
fault.
didn't make the hire.
Wasn't his fault.
Because it was at the Super Bowl, I think, in Minneapolis, where I actually had lunch with
2012.
them, and I'm like,
Yeah. In
Why is this
2012,
guy-
he joined Schwartzman.
like sitting there having lunch with him. Not a bad guy, but I'm just like, Dan and I were talking. He was there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm
Yeah.
like, why is he on with Dan? Like, what's, Anyway, all right. More homers for the Royals this year. Jack Caglione or Vinny Pasquantino, Pete. They both have 6 right now.
Take Vinny in that one. It'll be close.
Okay, Pasquantino.
Yeah.
He goes Vinny. We go to Kyle.
I think Vinny's a smart choice, but I'm going Cags.
Go!
It's going to explode.
He's jacked. Come on, Jack. Jack's going to get it going. He's going to start ripping. I'm on Jack, and I'm not convinced that Vinny isn't hurt or something else going on.
And Jack's wearing the high socks now, too.
Oh, you can't fail.
Yeah,
No.
exactly.
Can't fail.
No.
I think he's like just about ready to start turning on everything. That's what I feel like. There's an eruption about ready to come with Jack Caglione, and it's not because he's on my fantasy team.
No. Never colored by that.
Never,
Never.
Curtis.
I'll say Cags.
Ooh,
I'm not
going to say
not
Cags
loving
too.
it, but
I don't
Wow.
think Vinny's right.
Pete all by his lonesome on Vinny.
The silly part is what's,
All right,
what's
I'm
the
used to
number?
it.
11.
I mean, he ran into one last night, but that's the kind of ball he's supposed to crush.
Okay. All right, and finally, we did the defense. The 2026 Chiefs, where will they finish in points? I'm going to look it up so I can read it right so I don't have jackass here busting my chops.
Oh, yeah.
15th, 1st, 4th, 6th. That's what they've been the last
You're reading backwards.
5 years. Huh?
That's backwards. Not from 6th last year. That was
No,
4
I was
years ago.
going
Yeah,
backwards.
Yeah, I thought so. Okay.
Yeah,
making
going
sure.
backwards. They were 15th last year. 15th,
But you know, they were a
15th,
top
1st,
10
4th,
offense
6th.
before Petro got hurt. Have you heard?
And by the way, now that I have those numbers up, I want to see. I have 4th for last year. Curtis, according to Pro Football Reference, in points.
On their
Defense?
team thing, but if you click on the page for that team, no, that fourth is that's 2024.
Oh, you're right.
Oh boy.
For some
Right,
reason
yeah.
they don't. How can they
Yeah, why
not
do they
have
have
20?
that? They
That's
screwed
weird.
that all up.
That's
Who's up
weird.
first on this?
So what were they last year on offense? Because
Oh,
I'm
let me see.
off by a year as well.
They were 21st in points, 20th in yards.
Okay. So here it is: 21st,
15th.
15th, 15th, 1st, 4th, 6th. And so what were they last year in defense? So I can update that.
6th in points, 10th in yards.
Okay. All right. So there's.
Who's
All
up
right.
first?
So now the question is offense. Where do they rank
In points.
offensively? Pete, you have the honors.
15 stays healthy. They're going to be on a rampage, number 6.
Oh wow,
You got
that's a
them
big jump.
6th. Okay. Kyle,
I'm going to go 8th.
8th. I think Kenneth Walker is going to be a big addition. I do think Andy Reid's going to run the ball with more power. Probably not as much as I'd like. The wide receiver coach will change things. They were running about 10th last year. Put me down for 7th. Curtis.
I'll say 10.
10th. Labonics.
Going to go with what I believe 9th.
9th.
The dumb number.
Okay. There it is. So we've all got them in the top 10. Nobody sees them backtracking.
Oh, they're getting better.
Oh,
It's
nothing
all
but better.
fixed.
Nothing but better.
all
We're not homers.
No.
We're just accurate.
Yeah.
We'll take a break, come back, play a little Stump the Chumps. Big O Tires will change your oil for free if you give us a final Chumps question. That's right. Send it to Kyle at 810WHB.com. 13 locations around the metro. Big O Tires has you covered. The team you trust is Big O Tires. They've got 13 locations. They'll pick you up. They'll drop you off. They got financing available as well. You can find a location and make your appointment right now by going to BigOTires.com. Now through June 14th, buy 3, get 1 free on Big O's exclusive tire brands. It's at Big O Tires, the team you trust. You can't spell to save your life, Todd.
No.
You're kind of an idiot.
No.
It is the program here on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Petro, Seaboldt, Collier. We welcome Todd Lebo and Peter Yachinick every Thursday. Brought to you by our friends at Big O Tires, the team you trust. 13 locally owned and operated locations around the metro. Big O Tires helps keep vehicles in top condition with services including oil changes, brake replacement, wheel alignments, tire rotation, and more. Ask about the Healthy Car Special. It's just $39.95. Includes a conventional oil change, tire rotation, alignment check, brake check, and more. It's at Big O Tires, the team you trust. Send a final Chumps question to Kyle at 810WHB.com. We use it. You're getting an oil change at Big O Tires with the team you trust. I like my questions.
Let's go.
I got 3 of them, so if I don't think I'll step on anyone's toes, which one do I want to save? I think I'm going to save that one. So I've got 2. One I think is a little bit harder. You want easy or hard first? What do you want?
Easy.
All right. Be careful where you step here on this one. There are 24. 24 answers. Okay, I'm not Jack Johnson giving you like 2 choices.
Yeah.
Okay, bringing the quantity here. I want you to name any of the 24 NBA Finals MVPs that won the award only once. So they were a Finals MVP, but at least to this point, so there's some active guys on this, but they won it only one time.
Curtis.
Todd, Pete, and then Kurtis.
Did Andre Iguodala?
Andre Iguodala, that's a very good one. Yes, he did win it once and only once as a member of the, what do you call it?
Yeah.
Warriors.
Lebo.
Guess who just realized
You haven't got your score
they
out.
I did everything except the scorecard. All right, so here we go. What'd you, Todd? You got one.
Yeah.
We go to Pete.
Jerry West.
Jerry West did win it just the one time as a member of the Lakers. You are correct. He won it in a losing effort too. We go next to Kurtis.
Kawhi Leonard.
Kawhi Leonard won it twice with 2 different teams.
Wow. So no, Curtis.
I was in
He was
Todd and then Kurtis.
Bill Walton.
Bill Walton won it just the one time with the Portland Trailblazers. Good job for you, Todd. Kurtis.
James Worthy.
Big Game James won it only once, 1988 for the Lakers. Todd and then Pete.
SGA win last year?
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander did win it last year, and that's
Has
only
not won it
his
since
one.
then, yeah.
Has not won it since then. Pete.
Did Shaq win it twice or once?
Shaquille O'Neal won it like 4 times. He won it every time he was in there. Yeah, he's multiple. He won it 3 times. Okay. Todd.
Are you in, Curtis?
No, you were
okay,
first.
I'm going to... Jack Sikma?
Jack Sikma did not win
Did
it.
not win it.
Curtis.
Dwayne Wade.
D. Wade did win it the one time. Good job there. Pete.
Lebo.
For the hell of it, Havlicek.
Havlicek, yes, won it one time. Good job, Pete.
Jokic.
Jokic won it one time. Nice job, Todd. Okay, Pete, you're buzzed in.
Bob Pettit.
Bob Pettit did not win it. I think he might go back before the award was given.
Okay.
The ones you did not get, you did pretty good. Giannis, Rick Barry, Chauncey Billups, Jaylen Brown, Wilt, only won it once. Steph Curry, only won it once.
Only once,
Joe
right.
Dumars, Dennis Johnson, Moses
Dennis Johnson
Malone,
was it.
Cedric Maxwell, Dirk Nowitzki, Tony Parker, Paul Pierce, Isaiah Thomas, Wes Unseld, and JoJo White.
JoJo.
Rock Chalk,
Oh.
JoJo White. All right, we go next to Tad. Or no, it's next to Curtis, sorry.
We'll go Curtis.
Staying on the NBA theme, I want the top 20 NBA scorers with no NBA championship.
Lebo.
Todd.
Carmelo.
Carmelo Anthony.
Yeah, good.
I got your guy.
I know.
Lebo.
Todd.
Stacey McGrady. Tracy McGrady.
No. Neither one of them.
Lebo.
Todd.
Jim Harden.
James Harden, yes. Pete.
Wait, Dr. J?
He won.
You
a time.
won.
He won.
Petro, Russell Westbrook.
Russell Westbrook.
Petro, Karl Malone.
Carl Malone, yes.
Lebo.
Todd.
Charles Barkley.
Charles Barkley.
Oh, yeah, good.
Knucklehead. Let's see, there's some older players. This is a Lakers.
Petro, George Gervin.
No. There's Lakers, Heat,
Enoch.
Knicks.
A Laker.
Bill
Pete.
Sharman?
Lebo.
No.
Dang.
Did Jerry West never win?
He did win
He
some
did
too.
win one, yeah. Patrick
Knicks.
Ewing.
Patrick Ewing.
Good job.
Guy who played for the
Petro Bernard King.
Suns. No, guy who played
Gotta
for.
be careful here.
Let's see, another member of the Jazz.
Lebo?
Sixers,
Petro.
John Stockton?
John Stockton,
Enoch.
another
Yeah.
member of the Jazz.
Karl Malone.
Already been said.
Yeah. Who else are you saying? What other teams?
Let's see. There's another Jazz guy from the '90s. There's a Sixer.
Lebo?
There's another Sun.
Jeff
There's a Miller.
Hornacek?
Jeff Hornacek. There's a Indiana Pacer.
Petro. Reggie Miller.
Reggie Miller.
That's a good one.
The ones you
I
did
was going
not
to say
get:
Tom Chambers.
Jimmy Butler,
Ah.
Allen Iverson, Joe Johnson, Kevin Johnson, Donovan Mitchell, Steve Nash, Chris Paul, Sam Perkins, Terry Porter.
Okay.
Sam Perkins never won one?
Sleepyhead Sam. Okay.
Okay, let's do a little baseball here. This is baseball reference. So for everyone listening, the Minnesota Twins used to be the Washington Senators and Washington Nationals. They've been around since like
Well,
1901.
the Senators also were the Rangers.
Yeah, that's a different franchise. This is the original ones from way back in 1901. They moved there. I want you to name me anyone.
So wait, this is which franchise?
This is the Twins franchise.
The Twins franchise,
Twins franchise.
including the Senators.
Including the Senators. And they were actually the Washington Nationals at 1.2 way back in the
Yep,
day. But
yep.
anyone, whoever, when you go to Baseball References page, they played for them, did manage, whatever, in any way were affiliated with that organization, it is in the Hall of Fame.
Petro.
Oh, God.
Curtis.
Petro.
Ted Williams. He managed them.
I think he managed the ones that became the Rangers. So
Rangers. Yeah.
You can rot in hell,
no.
Tom.
Pete,
No.
Harvin Killebrew,
Harmon Killebrew, yes. Curtis.
Petro.
Walter Johnson.
Walter Johnson, that's that Senators team.
Oh.
Petro, you're in.
Pete, I think Pete was in before.
No, no.
Okay, I'll go Rod Carew.
Curtis.
Rod Carew is yes. Curtis.
Petro.
Bert Blyleven.
Bert Blyleven, yes.
Petro. Jack Morris.
Curtis.
Jack Morris
Enoch
is
not in?
Yes,
He's
he's
in
in.
the Hall of Fame.
Curtis.
Kirby Puckett.
Curb Puckett
Oh, yeah.
is in.
Is Oliva in?
Oh, yeah.
No, he's not in.
Oh, he's not.
wow.
Oh, wow.
He's not
Tony
in.
Lynn.
He should have been. I don't think he's on the list.
Oh.
I'll give you. Here's a hint. This guy was cut by them, DFA'd, and became a hero.
Petro. David Ortiz.
There you go.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. No, Oliva is in. He got in better.
there
I'm
you go.
sorry.
Did
I thought he was.
I
in.
thought he
Yeah.
was, too.
Yeah,
was like,
I was looking at him in a different time thing here because he just got in recently. There's a couple of his old dudes from back in the day. Come on now.
I don't remember who played.
What was
for the
their
Senators.
stadium named after way back in the day? There you go, Clark Griffith.
Clark
He was the
Griffith is
pioneer.
First.
Yeah. There's some other
Wow.
amazing names on here.
Is Rick Aguilera in?
No. This guy,
Jeff Reardon.
That's who I meant. Jeff Reardon. I meant
Is
Jeff
he in?
Reardon.
he's in on the list.
think
Yeah,
so.
okay.
Is he in?
I don't
He's not
see-
in, my
He's not
bad.
in.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
He undid. This guy was a manager. Maybe here, maybe across the state.
Petro. Tony La Russa?
Curtis.
Nope.
Billy Martin.
Nope.
Oh.
Whitey Herzog played for the Washington Senators.
Oh, wow.
So, anyways, Joe Mauer, Jim Cott, Jim Tomey,
Joe Mauer.
Dave Winfield played there. Steve Carlton finished his career with the Twins.
Oh, God.
And then there's
He
some
gave up
old
the-
Lefty Gomez, Goose Goslin,
so
Sam
bad.
Rice, Joe
So
Cronin.
bad.
So
Had
it's
to
all
be, had to be
right.
players then.
No, it could be anything.
No.
Because
But then
Billy
anyways-
Martin managed the Twins in '69.
Well, he's not on the list.
Okay.
His baseball
He
references
definitely
list.
did manage him.
Is
Yeah,
he
he
in the
was-
Hall of Fame?
Is Billy Martin in the Hall?
No. May
That's
not
an
be.
excellent question. You might not be.
Yeah.
That was the number one
that's why
part of
he's
the
not
question.
there.
So I think you guys, you got the score over there.
Okay. Yep.
That's fun.
3, 4, 2. Okay. Pete.
Got a potential for 5 answers here, and I want to know, and this is feeding you. I want to know the only school to have in the NCAA to have 4 straight national scoring champions. I want to know their names,
What
and
sport
one of
is
them's
this?
this basketball.
Boys?
Yes.
Okay.
The hell, Todd.
Well,
You
I
wanna-
just checking, man. I never
We're
know
trying to
you.
get to the bottom of what the hell you're asking.
Bite
Settle
me.
down. There'll be
4
no biting.
different
Hey,
names.
don't look at me like that.
There'll be no biting.
It's 4
Especially
different,
with
it's
Clemson
4
and
different
that
names.
one. Yeah, 4. No, not 4 different names. I want to know their names though.
Okay.
And what school? 4 straight. I want to know
Lebo.
their names, and one of them still has a record. And I want to know what that
Loyola
is.
Marymount?
No.
So wait, it's the school,
and
I
the
want to know the school.
not a player.
That's
And
School
then
had
some
4
players.
straight. And
led
freshman year-
college basketball
Yeah.
and scoring.
Yeah,
4
and they
straight
had
years.
4 straight years.
It's not Loyola.
No, and they had, and there were. I'll just give you a hint. There were 2 players involved. 2. Just
How long ago are we talking about
this
here?
is quite a while,
Okay.
and one of them still has a record that is alive today.
They're,
Lebo, San Francisco.
You look like you got a look on your face.
I just don't
Well, you
understand
said
the
there were
question.
five-
Okay,
there were five
okay.
possible answers.
A school
only
had
three.
4 straight national champions, NCAA
scoring.
Division I in scoring. There were 2
I don't
players.
the individuals,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
players.
yeah.
Okay,
Two
all right,
players
Petro.
involved.
I'll say LSU, Pete
No.
Maravich.
No.
Okay.
Probably only got 3.
Well, he got 3. I was just wondering.
Yeah,
if
but
I was
that's
gonna
why
try
I
the
said
next guy.
the freshmen weren't eligible then.
So this is the 50s, 40s. What are we talking about?
50s.
I'm in trouble. Lebo, Holy Cross.
No.
I'm struck out.
Soren went fairly close to one of these schools, or this school.
Petro,
When he
CCNY.
No, but he went fairly.
Petro,
No,
St.
not
Bonaventure.
No, you went just on your little trip here
Oh.
recently.
I don't know. What was it?
Furman,
Furman.
Ah.
Frank Selvey.
Frank Selvey, and Daryl Floyd.
D. Floyd.
Frank Selvey still has a record of 100 points in a game.
Yeah.
Okay. All
I'm
right.
sorry if that was.
No, it's
No,
fine.
no,
I was
it's
just
good.
trying to figure out where the 5. You said it could be 5 answers. I'm like, I don't think there's 5. There's
Well, it's 3.
Yeah.
3.
Well,
The team, the city, and or the team, and then the 2 players. I thought, how's there 5?
all right.
Oh, good.
That's why you didn't get it?
So, by the way,
I'm a moron's why I didn't get it.
No, I was the
What is the
one
score?
asking.
Not
the
even.
score is I have 7, Curtis has 6, Todd has 9, and Pete has 4. I believe that we're going to get a first-time French Open champion in both the men's and women's this year because, it's the top seed when what's-her-name went out yesterday, Seaboldt. It's like everyone's been out. So in honor of that, just name me any. So you're gonna feast a little bit here at first. Name me any of the 50 men that have won
Lebo.
the French Open. Now I went no World War II because it didn't count. The
Okay.
Grand Slam. It basically is 19. I think it's about 41 on is where it is because like early on it wasn't counting. So
Enoch.
I repeat, and then Todd.
Bjorn Borg.
Bjorn Borg is 1. Congratulations. Raphael Nadal won many. I hear Todd and then Pete.
Didn't Michael Chang win that one?
Michael Chang did win it
That's his
once.
one.
I was looking at his name last night. Yeah, Michael
Enoch,
Chang's
yeah.
there. Pete.
I'm not sure about this
Curtis.
one. Pancho Segura.
Segura. No. Curtis, then Todd.
Jimmy Connors?
Jimmy Connors.
Enoch. Yeah.
No, did not win.
I think
Todd and
Federer
Pete.
got one.
Who?
Did Federer get at least one?
Yeah, Federer got one. I got to
Lebo.
find him. There he is. Yep. Now over to Pete.
Rod Laver.
Rod Laver, I'm sure
yeah.
he did. Yep, there he is.
Djokovic had to get one.
Yes, he has
a
done
few,
it.
right?
Not as many as you'd think,
Yeah.
but he's on
It's
there.
a weird surface.
So now we're over to Djokovic has 3, by the way.
Lebo.
Now we're back over to Pete.
Roy Emerson.
How many you got, Todd? 4 or 3?
I think I have 4.
Okay.
12
You said
points.
Roy Emerson?
Uh-huh.
Yes.
No, I have
Roy
3.
Emerson won 2.
Lebo.
Pete?
Did McEnroe get one?
Johnny Mack did not win the French. Curtis, and then Todd.
Pete Sampras?
Enoch.
Pete
Yeah.
Sampras
It's not his surface
did
either.
not
he
win it.
usually is.
Todd and then Pete.
Boris Becker was good at all the surfaces.
Boris Becker
No?
did not win it.
Pancho Gonzalez.
Pancho Gonzalez did not win it.
Lebo.
Todd.
Borg.
Already been said.
Okay. Check me.
I won't give you the whole list, but the notable ones that you didn't get. Andre Agassi.
Agassi. I knew he won that.
Don Budge.
Budge.
Jim Courier.
He was good at
I
that
thought about
surface.
Curry and went, nah.
Let's see. Who else are the ones that you would definitely recognize?
Did
Lacoste.
Stan Smith do it? The shoe guy?
Rosewell.
That's an interesting
Should have
one.
got
Rosewell.
Rosewell. Yeah,
Boy.
should have got him. And Guillermo Villas. Mats Wielander.
Mats
Stan
Wielander.
Wawrinka. Didn't get that.
Stan Smith.
Stan Wawrinka. Stan Smith.
Wawrinka.
No Stan Smith.
He got the shoe, though.
Okay, so I got 4 for Todd and 3 for Pete on that one.
All right, this is one that I let Kyle know about. He loves it. So it's it's sports, but it's fun.
Okay.
In honor of Caleb Williams being the Madden NFL cover guy, 25 other players have been on the cover of the Madden
Petro.
cover guy. Soren.
Enoch.
Patrick
Lebo.
Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes,
Enoch.
Pete,
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady, yes.
Peyton Hillis.
Peyton
Yeah, I
Hillis.
was
remember that
trying to
one.
think of that one.
That was the fun one. That was
Petro,
when the fans picked
Aaron
it.
Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers,
Petro.
no.
No?
Pete.
Ladainian Tomlinson.
LT, no.
Petro. Barry Sanders.
No. They started putting players on in 2001.
Okay.
Well, that would have been
01 was
nice
the
if
first
you'd
year.
given us that
You should
nugget.
have known
Sorry.
that. You've been playing the game forever.
I never played it.
Lebo, Big Ben.
No.
Oh,
There's 1, 2.
somebody say Rogers.
Yeah.
Okay.
1, 2 active players, 3 active players, 4,
Lebo, Miles Garrett.
5. No.
How about some clues? I don't know if
let's
you
see.
hear. We're like
Active players.
1 for 8.
Seahawks, Bills, Eagles.
Lebo.
Now.
Petro.
Sean Alexander.
Sean Alexander. Bills.
Petro. Josh
Eagles,
Allen.
Josh Allen. Let's see. Great Saint, a Viking, a Ram.
Petro. Drew Brees.
Drew Brees.
Enoch, yeah.
Pete.
Herbert.
No. First one,
You
Titans.
said a Viking?
A Viking.
Petro. Adrian Peterson.
Yes, there's another Viking, though, quarterback.
Ed George.
Ed George was the first one. Let's see.
Petro. Dante Culpepper.
Dante Culpepper, yes.
The other Viking. They call him.
Good job, Soren.
One you
tough.
did not get, Saquon Barkley, ODB, Antonio Brown, Marshall Faulk, Brett Favre, Larry Fitzgerald, Rob Gronkowski, Lamar Jackson, Calvin Johnson, Ray Lewis, Christian McCaffrey, Donovan McNabb,
Haven't heard any of
Troy
them.
Polamalu, Richard Sherman, Michael Vick, and Vince Young.
Never heard of him. Vince Young was on the NFL one?
Yes.
Oh, my God.
All right.
All right,
Todd.
here we go. The Knicks. They're in
The
the
Knicks!
They're in the finals here.
Are in
So,
the garden.
I'm going to give you some deal here.
Knicks.
This is, you have to have played a minimum of 400 games.
For the
Or-
Knicks?
No, yeah, or 10,000 career points for anybody. Okay? This is.
What?
This is, just listen.
400 games for anybody or
No,
400 games
for the Knicks, or 10,000 points for anybody total to be qualified for this, according to Basketball Reference. It's points per game in a year
Petro.
for the Knicks.
Petro.
Enoch,
Yeah.
yeah.
Patrick Ewing.
Patrick Ewing, correct.
Dave DeBuscher.
Dave DeBuscher,
Curtis.
no, it's
Petro.
top 10 I'm looking for
Oh.
here.
Oh, I'll go. Go ahead.
Bernard King.
Bernard King's number 2 on the list.
Enoch. Clyde.
Petro.
No. Yeah, Frazier.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's number 10 on the list.
Jalen Brunson.
Brunson is there. He's number 3 on the list, scoring 26 points a game for them.
Petro. This is a reach. Latrell Sprewell?
No.
Nice.
I think this guy, you should know.
I know. Carmelo.
There you go.
I
Come
said
on.
no. I was
say.
going to hold him back because I wasn't
There's,
sure if he was top 10.
there's at least 2 Kentucky guys on here, if that helps anyone.
Curtis. Kenny Walker.
No.
Oh,
One guy's still on the team, I believe.
Curtis. Carl Anthony Towns.
Yeah. 22 points a game for them. A couple of old guys, too. At least one old guy. Pete, come on.
Petro.
Curtis.
Bill Bradley?
No. He's old, but no. Willis Reed, no. The oldest guy did not play there. He's not as much known for being a Knick. I think he was more known for being a Brave, maybe. But who are the
Curtis.
Braves? when they moved?
Bob McAdoo?
Bob McAdoo.
Okay.
26 points a game as a Knick, but he didn't.
Did
play
he
like
really?
that. Yeah.
Wow.
That's tough.
Didn't get Julius Randle. You guys did all right though.
You got 7.
Yeah, you got
Julius
7. Julius
Randle.
Randle, Richie Guerin. Come on.
Oh,
Pete.
Richie Guerin.
Come on,
That's what
Pete.
they are.
And was the other one?
Willie Knowles. Pete.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I bring these answers in for Pete.
No, you didn't.
I did too.
Well, I was thinking of something else.
That's the perfect thing to do while we're doing this.
All right, what do you got, Pete?
I want to know the 6 players who averaged more than 20 points a game and 20 rebounds a game
Petro.
in their college career.
Oh, in their well, all right, I'll still go.
Lebo.
20 and 20 in their college career?
Yep.
For their whole college career?
Mm-hmm.
Guess I'll start with Wilt.
Curtis.
No.
Bill Russell.
Yes.
Mm,
There's 2. You got what? 2, 3,
Petro,
4, 5.
Pettit,
No.
Petro,
Lebo.
Gola,
No. Well, that's a good guess, though, Soren. I would have said that, too.
Bob Kurland.
No. Good guess.
He's got to be some old guys with the rebounds.
Uh,
What's the most recent one?
one of them was famous for a punch.
Kermit Washington.
There you go.
yeah. Nice.
You
Too
don't get
late,
it,
no
but too late,
points.
Too late, no points.
Okay. The other 4
Are old.
were Walter Dukes, Julius Irving. You've heard of him, I think.
Oh wow, he had
not
20
really.
boards.
Paul Silas
Paul Silas.
Okay.
and Artis Gilmore.
Oh, I should have guessed Artis Gilmore. Jacksonville State. Hell yeah, playing
You and me.
Shawnee Mission West
Tough
was
game
too
here.
high a league for them to play.
The only team he ever played with stuff was Iowa.
Oh, God. Okay, we sit 900 for Kurtis and Pete, 1,500 for me, 1,700 for Todd Lebo. Our final chumps category is what?
NBA playoff droughts.
NBA playoff
God.
droughts.
Oh,
We'll
this is
wager
so easy.
if you give us a final chumps question, you can get a free oil change at Big O Tires. You know those guys, the guys you trust. Visit Big O Tires online to find the location nearest you. 13 locally owned and operated locations around the metro. Big O Tires helps keep vehicles in top condition with services like oil changes, brake replacement, wheel alignments, tire rotations, and more. Ask about the Healthy Car Special. It's just $39.95 at Big O Tires, the team you trust.
All right, the Twin Peaks end of the hour answer. Last time the Knicks lost, it was not the top story in the sports world. What was?
This one was mine,
This year?
so I know. Yeah,
Oh.
the last time they lost, they were not the lead
Yeah.
story.
I'll give it the date, April 23rd.
Is it after the Masters?
We were in the studio that night for the first round of the NFL draft.
Wow.
Yeah, they
I
have
remember
not
that.
lost since round one.
Yeah, I remember that
the
that night
NFL
going,
draft.
wow, Nick's down 2-1. Having to play game 4 in Atlanta.
And
They could be toast.
Giants and
they
Jets
haven't lost since.
all made several bad draft picks. That's
Yeah.
3 days probably. No, I'm kidding.
How about that?
That's amazing.
Look at that is amazing how far they've come. All right, the final question was NBA playoff droughts. You could be getting a free oil change at Big O Tires, the team you trust. If you send Kyle at 810WHB.com, a final chumps question. If we use it, you get a free oil change at Big O Tires, 13 locations around the metro. Check them out right now. You can get their buy 3, get 1 free on Big O's exclusive tire brands right now at Big O Tires. Kyle, what do we got?
All right, fellas. I just need to know which NBA team holds the longest playoff drought of all time.
So it's not current.
Not current, no.
So it could be
Not winning a championship.
No, making
Biggest
the playoffs.
playoff
Oh, just
drought.
making the playoffs.
My answer is in. It did not take me long. I probably did not get it right.
There's only one thing to guess for me.
That's annoying. Because if that's your mindset, then I think we're probably on the same page.
You locked in, Pete?
yeah. I'm ready.
Curtis, you got yours?
Yeah.
I think we're all going to be on the same one.
No, I
my
don't think so.
suspicion.
No, I don't.
You don't?
No, I don't.
All right. Well, we
I've
start.
got it, but
We start with Curtis. He is in dead last. Curtis,
I said the Clippers.
that is wrong. How much did you wager?
All of it.
All of it. Curtis ends with 0. We go to Pete.
$1. I said Syracuse Nationals.
Nats, which is the Clippers, if I'm not mistaken, right? The Nationals became.
Maybe.
So is that right?
No.
So $8.99. We go to me. I said the Clippers. I'm wrong. I bet 301. So I am at $11.99. We go to Todd.
I said the Clippers.
Yeah, of course we all
And I
knew
bet
it was.
1301, so.
Oh my goodness! I love it. 1301. Hang on, let me do some math, Todd. Let me do some math.
Is it current? Is it the Kings now or
$3.99.
something?
I kicked the holy
seasons,
living crap out of you,
Sacramento
Todd.
Ah, it's the Kings.
It's the Kings.
Dang it. I thought right after I wrote down Clippers, I know they went so long without making, I wanted to go Kings.
Say the Kings. Damn it.
Don't break these microphones,
These are
Pete.
brand new
Those are good.
microphones.
Don't break the good ones.
Lucky to have you back winning the games.
That's
So,
right.
that
You
was
know,
good.
so everything's back to normal
Yeah,
now.
normal.
Everything's back to normal.
All right, who's the only former Royal to have a top 10 scoreless inning streak? Brought to you by La Feta Delicatessen.
Second half of the program begins right now as we talk to Sam McDowell, columnist for the Kansas City Star, joins us here in the program as he is wanting to do. Usually we do it on a Tuesday, but flip-flopping between he and Blair Kirchhoff. We don't want to go a week without getting a chance to talk to Sam McDowell. So, we did what we had to do, people. Survive and advance is what we're talking about. We advanced to Sam McDowell here in the program. Sam, how are you, buddy?
I'm doing well. How you doing?
Well, I'll be doing better when your mic's on. Got to figure out which mic it is, Kyle. It's all right. I'm going to keep banging into everything. Which one do you want him on?
This one?
Why does it matter?
Am I on?
Why? What's wrong with that one?
One of them's a little bit quieter than the other.
They're brand new. I thought we got past this when we put in new mics.
Does that really matter? I mean, that's.
Well, I just like to be able to I can't believe we just put in new mics and we gotta no, don't use that one. It sucks.
The fact that it's new is like, and
come on, crying out loud.
come on now.
Did you tell Drake? Have you told Drake? Tell Drake. Can't get fixed unless somebody tells Drake. That's how it works around here. Let's try it again. Sam, how are you, buddy?
I'm doing all right. Am I on?
Yeah, I don't know.
I think so.
Give it one of these. Give it one of these.
I think I can hear myself.
Yeah, might
There we
be.
go.
Might be the headphones don't work. I don't know. You never know. But those are yours, so that's your fault.
Yeah, the headphones are great.
We're not blaming anyone around here for that one. First of all, we had Nate Bukaty in here talking about the World Cup. I'm just curious. I just want to get your thoughts on this. Do you think the World Cup is going to disappoint here in Kansas City?
In what way?
I don't know. In any way.
Well, yeah,
Economically,
in some ways it will. Yeah.
and economically, as far as attendance goes, as far as the celebration, the party, like what are you expecting people to come away going like, wow, that was awesome?
Well, I think all those are different questions, and I think especially like the people here, what they're going to say, I think is a vastly different question from like whether or not it disappoints economically. I guess I would say that depends on what your expectations are for it, and obviously, there's been leadership that has projected certain expectations for it, but and look, we should hold that to account. Absolutely. I still think the World Cup here is freaking awesome, and I can't wait for it.
Yeah, I think it's great. I don't know that it's going to return the dollars. I think there's going to be some people that are going to be like, because I think it's hard to measure, first of all, and everybody has a different way of measuring it, so there'll probably be debates about it. And I think a lot of the effect we're going to get from it is going to be for years to come. Hopefully, this is something that echoes for years.
In what way?
I do think that there is the potential for people to come to this town and for them to be like, oh, that's I could put a company there, or oh, we could have a branch there, or wow, that's a place I can see myself living. And it may not be that like somebody travels from New York and goes, boy, I love Kansas City, and I'm not leaving, I'm buying a house instead of getting on the plane home. But they could be 2 or 3 years from now, they're like, that is a really livable city. I get what people are talking about. That would be, cost of living's better. I'm getting out of this rat race, or some big soccer fan from a smaller town travels here from, someplace in Iowa and goes, oh boy, man, that's where it is. A kid comes here and, sees a soccer match and a Royals game and goes, wow, I'm leaving my farm town in Iowa and I'm coming to Kansas City. I think those kind of things, are really hard to quantify, and I think could be part of the kiss that you get. I think anytime you bring someone to your town and get a chance to show it off, you have the potential to eventually bring them back, be it for just another visit or a relocation or to put a business here. I just think there's a lot of things that could come from it over time.
Yeah, I mean, I talked to Cliff Illig 2 weeks ago now, who is one of the co-chairs of KC 2026, longtime owner of Sporting Kansas City. He's still an owner of Sporting Kansas City. He's no longer the majority owner because that's Peter Maluk now. But he said he hopes that he has two, basically what he called like North Star objectives to it. One is like if you're within 250 miles of Kansas City, he really hopes you feel prideful about what's going on in the city. To which I replied, well, I think people in Kansas City feel really prideful. People outside Kansas City love Kansas City. So, which is the second of his North Star objectives, which is people outside. I think the way he phrases, they leave here with great memories, and the memories are what brings you back, and the things that you're talking about. And I mean, the way he phrased it is he said we need Kansas City to grow. There needs to be more talent in certain areas in the region. I mean, this is a guy who, along with Neil Patterson, founded and ran Cerner. And he talked about the fact that at times in Cerner, they needed 1,500 software engineers, and there were like 600 or 700 in Kansas City. And by the way, you're not guaranteed those 600 or 700 either. And so that in certain fields that, you need more talent. And in order to get all of that, you need more people to realize that Kansas City lifestyle is a great asset. But as far as like disappointing economically, I just wonder if like at some point, if that because that has been a story, and like I said, that it's right to hold people to the numbers that they put forth in front of us. But I just wonder if at some point, because that has been a pretty significant part of the conversation over the last 6 weeks, if they're going to wish that they had just said that, hey, it's going to be awesome. Because I do think it's going to be really cool to have these games here without projections of how many people are going to come, without projections of what kind of economic impact it's going to have and how it's going to affect the hotels, which I think is a much more nuanced conversation. But I just think it should be it's really cool that we got selected.
If they fall short of all the numbers of people coming and tickets sold and hotels and restaurant business and all that, is it okay to be like, well, we didn't know that FIFA was going to squat on 70% of the tickets in hotels for this long and release them at the end? Is that a legit excuse, or is that something that they should have researched and known is something that FIFA does as part of you being selected as one of the locations?
I just think there's way more to it.
Okay.
Now the ticket aspect I think is much more of a FIFA thing. With the hotels, I just think there's a ton of elements that are going into that. But some of them is the hotel pricing. Now, those prices are based on what they were basically thought were the projections because of how many people might be coming here, and therefore they thought that was going to be the demand, and they set the price. And like I said, you and I've had part of this conversation before as far as our visitors who are normally coming to Kansas City at this time no longer coming because they feel like there's going to be more people here. And I just think it's a much more nuanced conversation. And by the way, Cliff Illig is during the World Cup also has a separate business, Enterprise KC, that's going to be attempting to study all of this stuff during the World Cup and how many people did come, what were the hotel numbers afterwards, and to get a better idea of all of these answers.
What are the games here? What are the dates of the games that are played here?
The first one is like 12 days away.
It's the 16th. Argentina, Algeria on the 16th.
Okay, I want to...
By the way, this book in here from Nate,
which is for you.
For me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Had to pick it out myself because Kurtis just has it over there, but...
I left it in here so I remember to give it to you.
I want to... because I
eager to read this from Nate, really am. Because as someone who covered soccer and sport in Kansas City, what was great about being on that beat was just how eager the people involved, and Peter Vermees at the top of this list, of just sharing the story of like how this came together. And, part of this conversation that I had with Cliff Illig that was so cool was just hearing, it was 20 years ago in September that he bought, along with Neil Patterson and Rob Heineman and the Medays and the Crans, like there were other people involved, but that bought Sporting Kansas City. And it starts with him knowing nothing about soccer. And Lamar Hunt pitches him and Neil Patterson at the Capitol Grill at the Plaza. And Neil and Cliff are standing on the curb out there waiting on their cars. And Neil asks, well, are we going to do this? And Cliff said, are you kidding? After just hearing that pitch, how could we not? And he calls his wife, and his wife says, no, what are we doing?
Yeah.
And now, his wife is like the absolute biggest fan of sport in Kansas City. I really just think I think soccer in Kansas City is a cool story. And that's why this book that I'm literally holding right now that Nate wrote, I'm eager to read.
Yeah. By the way, one of the things, like talking about the hotels, like I remember looking at the VRBOs, and like everyone's like, everyone in town, everyone's like, well, we're at my house. I heard they're paying like $5,000 a day. Like everybody had these. It is amazing to see how the numbers have come down. Everyone has a line through it and a new price.
Well, I think
I think there's some
do think
people that
prices
like
have
I'm
come down,
going to
but
put $2,500 a day in and just see if somebody bites, and if they do, okay, I'll move out of my house for a month and let them do that. I get it, but it is just amazing how it's like, oh, take a look at this, luxury spot, and like there's a couple of I kind of bookmarked, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's now like an eighth of the price that they were asking, which I get. Throw it out there, see what you can get if you don't really want to do it. But it's just interesting to see, what the idea was. There's plenty of availability to VRBO if you'd like to, Sam.
I've got a home here.
Yeah. You gonna put it out? Don't. I will.
Point is, I don't
if anybody,
VRBO.
if anybody wants
Be
to
the
rent
host.
Sam's home, let's be clear. They will not be
You
plowing
cannot
your
come.
street if
Do
it
not
does
come to my
snow.
house. If it snows this,
There'll be no
got bigger
plow.
problems.
this June, I would be stunned if they came down my road.
You'd be stunned if they came down your road in January, right?
Yeah, any time of year, but particularly if
If
it was.
it snows
was
during the
June.
World Cup, there'll be a much bigger story in this town than
Yeah.
the World Cup.
Yeah, could be.
What is happening?
Do you give the U.S. a chance to have a good showing?
I don't. Their group gives them a good chance to have an early good showing and like to actually make it to the knockout, which is like, and anything can happen in soccer. I mean, you and I have watched enough soccer to know that the team, not only the best team, but the best team on that day is not the one that always wins. So I think that aspect is hard to predict. I'll just say I don't think they enter this tournament in a great spot.
Okay. Yeah, I was watching England and France from last year, and France was clearly the better team, but England got 2 penalty kicks and had a chance to tie it late.
Yeah.
And Harry Kane sent it over the crossbar. Otherwise, it could be 2-2, and maybe that writes a different, chapter. So there is, I think the goal is to get out of your group.
It would
Which
be
they
a
better.
massive failure if they didn't get out of this group.
Which
I
they
want
better.
to touch on the fact that just
Because the
so
rules
you're
are
wa-
different
You're
and there's
watching,
more
you're,
teams.
you're watching matches from 4 years. Are you just like as part of your prep?
I was working late and needed something to be on as background noise, and so that's what I put on. And I found myself watching more of it than I thought. Like basically, I'd wait till something big happened. Then I'd be like, okay, look up, rewind, watch, and I was like, oh yeah, that's right, Harry Kane. You spit the bit.
Yeah.
I totally forgot about that till watching it again last night. But yeah, there's a lot of that stuff. Have you watched any? I think it's one of the Fox channels has, if it's FS1 or FS2, but they've been doing kind of like a lead up, and they kind of take a country and do 30 minutes on that country and give you a little bit of that country's soccer history, and then their team. Here are their star players. Here's how they came together. Here's some background on some guys. They did one I was watching last night on Toronto. It's obviously, it's in Canada, U.S., and Mexico. And they kind of did a background on what kind of city Toronto is, how international it is, what soccer means for it. I find all that stuff. And then if you have any kind of, like if you have Netflix, there's 500 different soccer documentaries that they're putting up there for you to take a look at. So I like all that stuff.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of it. I mean, that would intrigue me as well. And that, to me, is one of the coolest parts about, not just the World Cup matches coming here, which is, of course, 4 and then 2 and as part of the knockout stage, including that quarterfinal, but the base camp. I hope that what this environment actually is over this, almost, what is it going to be, like a 39-day stretch or something?
Mm-hmm.
And I hope that a major part of it is us getting to know how, some very prominent parts of the world live.
Do you are you going to go down and look for a Messi autograph?
An autograph? I don't think I've ever asked for an autograph since being in this job.
I've had people ask me, like, do you think if I take my kids down, and you know what I tell them all? Yeah, take them down. I hear they're going to let the kids out on the field and pose with Messi.
Well, they do.
Yeah,
He seems to be open to it.
he does when they run out on the field illegally.
Yeah.
Just wait till the game starts and run out there. Like,
But
you know,
I
did
have
last night.
I have been amazed how people are like, oh well, all the stars, they'll just be out there like it's like Santa at Crown Center. Yeah, just get in line and.
I think you can knock on his hotel room door,
Is that
right?
what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just call down there. What room is Mr. Messi in? Oh,
Yeah.
he's in
I'll connect
427.
you. I'll connect you.
Yeah.
No,
Thank you for calling.
I assume that Messi's the exception to this, but one of the interesting things in reporting on the base camps and what all these teams were looking for was Argentina had different room requirements than any of the other countries that had toured Kansas City. And I think there were like 11 of the teams that had actually toured through Kansas City. And it was that they wanted all their players to share rooms.
Really?
And so they wanted, like, of course, extra large rooms, and so that they could fit 2 beds in there without it being super crammed. Like I said, I assume that Messi is an exception to that. It's got to be part of his quote unquote contract that he's not sharing a room. But I don't know. Maybe he is.
He's in there with one of the rooks.
Maybe he is.
They're not showing him the ropes.
Bunking. Yeah.
Throwing his socks on the lamp, pissing the other guy off, that kind of thing.
I don't
When
know.
was the last time you roomed with somebody in a hotel?
I mean, I let my wife stay with me when we.
Well,
go
you know what I
somewhere.
mean. I mean, not like
You
that.
let.
Not
Wow.
family. I mean, like when you went somewhere and
For work, I think the last time I was in the same room was actually like my first year at the Star. And just because it allows me to say his name, Trez Paler and I went to a Mizzou tournament game against Colorado State. Was that Frank Haith's last game?
yeah, probably.
Colorado
Yeah.
State in that tournament?
That's
I think
right.
it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got killed in
Yes.
that
Double
game.
15 or 16 points, something like that.
So yeah, I think that's about
Nice.
been it.
Okay. I don't even remember. I don't remember.
I mean, that was what year was that? 2013, March of 2013, maybe.
14 probably.
I'm sure it was Danny.
Because 12 was his first year.
Well, that I was
I think he
stuck
was there
with,
3 years. So.
and I mean stuck with, when I say that. So Danny's not actually not a bad travel.
You just don't need to know that much about another person. I've never been that curious about somebody else.
No.
That was 2013, March
Was it
March
13?
21st, 2013.
Yeah, I would agree. Let's take a break. Sam McDowell, columnist for your Kansas City Star, is with us here in the program. I want to get into the Royals. It's all fixed, Sam. I've won 2 out of 3. Are you aware of that?
I am, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if it's been in the papers and all that kind of thing, so you might have checked that out at some point. Sam McDowell, brought to you by our friends at Easton Roofing. If you have had hailstorms, we all have had the hailstorms blow through. Not sure about that roof getting a little bit older. Free estimates, free inspections with Easton Roofing. Founded on integrity. Easton Roofing, online at eastonroofing.com.
right, the La Feta Delicatessen, end of the hour answer. Who's the only former Royal to have a top 10 scoreless inning streak? You have a guess?
I
was distracted. He found some news shine down, huh?
Yeah. This was my question, so I'm not going to answer it. I know the answer.
I literally wasn't hearing the question because I was trying to listen to the music. He put the
Nice.
news shine down out there, so appreciate you, Kyle.
I liked it. Who's the
And I assume
only,
no one else heard the question because they were so fascinated with the
well,
music
yeah.
either, so
Yeah,
you're going to
yeah.
have to repeat it.
who was the only former Royal to have a top 10 scoreless inning streak? 45 2/3.
No current Royals on it, but there's a former Royal.
You mean
Yeah.
he did it with the Royals?
No,
or
no. He in this case he had played for the Royals previously, but he's got a top 10 scoreless inning streak.
The fifth longest, 45 2/3. About 10 years ago. In the National League.
Huh.
Has pitched here for that team in an interleague game.
I don't know.
Likes to mow lawns.
I don't know.
Called his favorite restaurant in Surprise, Arizona, Chipotle.
First name
And
Donald.
then he dropped him. He dropped him when they started charging for extra guac.
First name Donald.
Put his foot
Did he
down.
really?
Yeah.
Put his foot down on that. Like, no more. His real first name is Donald.
Donald Zachary Greinke.
I didn't remember the Chipotle story.
Well, it's 'cause
Remember
you clearly didn't listen to the
No.
program enough, or maybe it was before you came to town that I had him on where he told that story.
I
And he's
started
like,
charging for guacamole, and I
was like, guys, you're still, because I remember I asked him one year, he'd sit down there until his final year. He'd always sit down with me for a while. It was great. My favorite
That's-
stuff. And sit
absolutely.
and chat with us outside at spring training. And one year I'm like, best restaurant, best hot spot. I can't remember how I phrased it. He's like, I'd probably say Chipotle. Right? And I was like, oh, okay. So we roll around to the next year. I'm like, is Chipotle still the hot spot? Used to be. I don't go there anymore. They started charging for guac, and so I don't go there
It
anymore.
was the principle of the thing. I think he said it was
He
the
goes,
principle.
Yeah, he goes, it's the principle. I'm like, I go, are you saying you can't afford it, Zach, or what's the deal? He's like, it's the principle.
I like it. Yeah.
One of one. man.
Oh, my favorite interview
There was
all
only-
time, Zach.
There was
Always
only
love
one Zach
talking to
Greinke in the box for sure.
So honest, so thoughtful, bright guy.
Just a brilliant pitcher on top of it.
You ever hear talking about the touch gene?
Or his hitting.
Well, that comes from
coach
the touch
stuff.
gene.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Oh, his hitting coach stuff is great.
Yeah.
Was it Joe Posnanski wrote about that?
Yeah. I've read several Greinke stories. I just
Have you heard about the
that one,
touch gene?
Are you talking about him, like, just how?
I said, how did you, like, you really didn't pitch much in high school and you just pick it up and you're an immediate strike thrower. Like, how did it come so natural to be able to just throw strikes? And he goes, I've always had the touch gene. You know, like, I pretty much make all my free throws. I'm a really good putter. I have a wicked volleyball jump serve. Like, I find the kid on the team who's not any good, and I just pound him.
In that laid back,
dry delivery, just the way he worked through it.
And I read a
like,
smile
you know,
on his-
he
his
probably
smile.
shot like 88% from free throws.
Oh,
But
yeah.
he was like, I was pretty good. He's like, I was really good at free throws. I can putt really well. There's no filter of like, I should be kind of modest here. You're getting an honest, genuine, I have the touch gene, anything that requires that, I do it, and I do it really well. And the best was that then he expanded on the volleyball. Because I remember I had a wicked jump serve in volleyball. Like, I would find the kid who wasn't any good, and I would just pound him.
His touch gene
With a
just sounds a
straight-
lot like
with a
hand-eye
straight-
coordination.
Yeah. Or it's
right, but it's
distance.
just the fact that he equated it to the touch gene,
Yeah.
you know, and then just the
just
fact
called
that
it a gene.
I found the kid who wasn't any good, and I just pounded him. Just like,
Straight face. No sense of irony or comedy. Just
so.
Because he wasn't.
I know. That's the
Just being
thing. It's so perfect.
I mean, he's just so brilliant. I mean, I just
So glad he came our way. You know, one
Did you
of the
chat
great
with him when
stories
he-
of the city's
Yes,
history. was
yes.
him.
when he came back,
Oh yeah, when he came back, absolutely.
because when he was here the first time, I don't think you weren't. I don't know if
No.
you were even here.
No, and then There were a couple times I chatted with him though when he was with the Astros once,
Yeah.
and then it may have just been the Astros twice. But yeah, I mean, I actually remember talking to him, and he was very gracious about it when I had written something about Danny Duffy, and Danny Duffy had opened up to me about the fact that he was dealing with anxiety. And,
Yeah.
And ahead of writing that, I talked to Zach about it too, and he actually, even though I didn't quote him for that story, it was really helpful just hearing his perspective, which his main perspective was every case was different.
Yeah. When he came back, I'm rolling into that clubhouse at spring training, and they started a thing, which I think is a really good idea, where, they give the guys, like, here's the media guys that are in town. It's a picture of us and who we work for and what our job is. So they kind of know, like, here's who the hell's talking to you, and which I think is a really smart idea that they do. And I walk in there and I see him, and I'm just all happy because I always love talking to him. And I'm like, oh, this is great. And I start walking down. Remember where his locker was down, kind of down there on the towards the end on the left, and he's sitting on a stool, and I start walking towards him, he was looking at something. He's just sitting on a stool. And he's looking at something. I didn't realize what it was, but as I got closer, I realized it was this piece of paper they give him every day to let him know what media people are there. And I get up there and I walk right up to him, and he's sitting on the stool, and he looks up at me, and he points at my picture on the page. He goes, "There you are."
And you don't even have to try to picture that, because it's just so perfect.
Maybe it's not as funny as I think it is.
I think it's hilarious.
But just like and I see him look up, and I'm like, okay, all right. So he sees me, and he's no one else was in the locker, so he knows I'm coming for him. And I was just like, well, I wonder if he remembers talking to me or whatnot, and he's like, there you are.
It may only be funny with him. It's like a comic that has a particular shtick and delivery. Their joke wouldn't work with somebody else's delivery. With his delivery, it's priceless.
Mark Tian told us a story on the Kaufman Corner podcast about Jose Guillen standing up and bitching out. He told it on the podcast. So this is something that I would expected Mark to tell us, like, oh man, let me tell you something. Don't repeat this. But not that Mark did that, but just this is the kind of story you'd expect a player to tell you. Like, I'll give you one from off the record, right? And he's like, something had happened and somebody hit Jose Guillen, and Guillen is just lighting up the clubhouse after the game about wimps, to use another verbiage, got to pound somebody. How are you going to let him hit your star player? You don't respond. You don't do this. And he's going on and on. He's apparently just they're all just kind of looking at him and sitting there at their, standing in front of their locker or sitting at their stool, whatever, after the game. And he's almost doing a speech, doing circles around, yelling at him about, this is what you got to do and this is how you got to do it and everything. And Greinke stands up and goes, are we really going to sit here and listen to this? And walks out. Or was he stood up and goes, yeah, I'm done listening to this. And walks out. My favorite. Love him. What a piece of work.
Wasn't there a story about him wanting people to wash their hands, to make sure they wash their hands after using the bathroom?
He did. I think is yeah. What he had, did you remember when he was with the Astros and it was the pandemic and he wasn't pitching? It was a playoff game and the stadium's all empty and he's in the third row in his uniform, just sitting there watching the game and just there's a better spot. I'm going over here. I'm just going to sit over here. I've heard some great stories about conversations he's had with people that I think are more off the record types. I don't remember if I asked if they were or weren't, so I won't share. But just going up to some people and be like, yeah, you're not that good.
Taking the struggling hitter and showing up a video of him hitting a home run, going, do that.
So he told Alex Gordon when he started.
Do that.
Do that. Okay.
I found that he was a Dodger in 2013, and he said a team meeting, Zach stood up, said, I have something to say. Some of you guys have been doing the number 2 and not washing your hands. It's not good. I noticed it happening earlier today, so if you guys could be better about it, that'd be great.
Oh, that's priceless. That's priceless. Anyway.
Wow.
So it's all fixed with the Royals, right? 2 out of 3. We got it going now.
They're last place in baseball in wins, right?
But it's
No,
fixed
it's
now.
not fixed.
No, it's not.
fixed.
You
No.
don't see him turning the corner here.
No, I don't.
What's wrong? What went wrong? Besides the injuries, I think the injuries have hurt. I think we have not given enough credit. I think at least there was a lot of people that this guys got hurt. It's been a bigger blow to them than I think a lot of people thought it might be.
See, I don't think they've had abnormal injuries at all.
I would agree, but it's clearly really knocked them down. They have no depth. Like
That's
the depth
what I
we
was gonna
thought
say.
they
Then
had.
Your argument there is that they're not as prepared for injuries. Now, I actually thought that was going to be one of their strengths this year is in the rotation. I thought they were more prepared than at least what this organization has been in the past. But I think when you look at what went wrong, like the tough part is like you'll have somebody tell you it's because of this. And you'll say, yeah, that's part of it. Somebody will tell you, okay, their 3 and 4 hitters aren't hitting. I'll say, yeah, that's part of it.
That's part of it, yeah.
Somebody will tell you the bullpen's terrible. So yeah, that's part of it. Somebody will tell you, this rotation was supposed to carry the load, and it has. Yeah, that's part of it. I mean, there's so many things wrong that it's actually hard to envision why you would predict them to turn it around because so many things have to be turned around, and it's to me it's like reminiscent of 2024 and like how many things had to come together for them to have that single season turnaround and reach the playoffs. A lot of things had to go wrong for them to be this bad and where they are.
So do you think, I've used the adage for a long time that I think you can play 10 games above whatever your stature is. If everything goes your way, schedule breaks right, you stay healthy, some chemistry kicks in, and you can play 20, 25 games down. When it starts going wrong, it snowballs. And so, an 85-win team, perfect year, wins 95, worst year, wins 60, right? Like, and it all goes wrong. That's kind of my belief on how baseball works. What do you think this team is? If they were what they are, not playing up 10, not playing down 20, 25, if you would indulge me of subscribing to my theory, at least for this exercise, what do you think this team is now that we've seen what they've done? Is it an 80-win team that's just had all the things that could hurt them the most go wrong, and so this is a worst-case scenario? Or was this team more like a 75-win team or a 70-win team, and it's really not going that bad?
So I actually think, first of all, this is an exercise the Royals should implement themselves, and I'll get to why in a second after I answer your question. Before the year, I thought this was like a 500 team, and so, but based on what we've seen, I think it's more like a 74 to 75 win team that has what can go wrong will go wrong. The reason I think it's an important exercise for the Royals to actually ask themselves, like, what should we have been this year, is I think that exercise will prompt them to look back at what they were relying on going into the season. Because I think when they go through that, they'll say, Noah Cameron was absolutely stellar as a rookie, but can you expect a rookie to have a 3 ERA in your rotation over 32 starts? Is that just something you're going to get for a full season? Maikel Garcia had 2 pretty bad years and then had an 800 OPS. Is now he just an 800 OPS guy, or is it somewhere in between those? Salvador Perez has had a career that will get him Hall of Fame votes. I don't know if it's going to get him into the Hall of Fame. It will get him Hall of Fame votes. Is he still that player? And that's why I think that would be an important exercise for the Royals. And also, look, I mean, I talked about this with Lebo last week, is, when you look at Lucas Erceg, for example, he was fortunate last year. Like, the underlying data suggested he should have had closer to a 4 ERA. Mm-hmm. And he was at like 2.6 a year ago. And I think that'd be another point where you're like, is this really this lights out 8th inning guy who we think he is? And look, the answer to some of those would still be yes. It was reasonable for us to expect this. But I do think that's an important exercise to say, why did you expect this to happen, this to happen, this to happen? Or maybe you did expect regression in these some areas, but where did you anticipate you would make up for it in order to account for the fact that a 36-year-old catcher is going to regress. It stands out to me that when you look at, they only had 4 hitters last year that had a 700 OPS over a full season or better. 4 of their regulars, if you include like 9 regulars for them. 4 of them had a 700 OPS. Those are, of course, their top 4 hitters in the lineup too, which was Michael Garcia, Bobby Witt Jr., Vinny Pasquantino, and Salvador Perez. All 4 are worse OPS this year by an average of 99 points per player. And so I think when you look at
that can't be the hitting coach, can it?
I think when you look
certainly wouldn't look there.
When you look at every pivot point on this team, it gets you the same way. And I wrote about this. I think it was yesterday, maybe on the day before, but I thought that when the Royals blew the game on Tuesday, that it was just this microcosm of like where they've been this year, which is they pressed a player into a role that he's not performed in and expected him to have different results. And I think part of this comes from, look, Matt Quattro's motto has been today. And I think that's been beneficial for a young group that's had an introduction to baseball. And it's supposed to be built for these moments to like stop the avalanche from coming. And this avalanche has picked up steam. And I think at some point when you are so strong about your preference for consistency and you have this resolve to make decisions not just based on yesterday, not just based on a bad day or a bad week, or in their case, a bad 2 months, that preference for consistency actually just starts to mirror stubbornness and an unwillingness to make a move that can be difficult to make but needs to be made.
Is that move making a change with the hitting coach? And not necessarily firing him, but at least reassigning him and saying, we're going to get a different voice in here, whoever it might be, elevating somebody that's there just for the rest of this year or maybe moving forward, but also showing that when you fail, change comes.
Yeah.
Like there are consequences for not succeeding at professional baseball, particularly not succeeding in a year that you're supposed to succeed. Somebody has to pay for that, and right now no one has.
I agree with that. I think, first of all, the message is a major part of it. Like, it actually might be that the best person in your organization, and I don't even say it as like a might be, I think you could even argue probable, that the best person in your organization to deliver the hitting messages to your players is Alex Seaboldt. But have you reached a point to where you're sending the wrong message by the fact that you're last in American League in runs? Last year you were 26th in baseball in runs, and there haven't been consequences for it, to your point, because what should happen?
Well, they made the assistants last year,
right?
Because they did change that.
If the hitting coach were to get fired, a significant part of the consequence of that should be the players blaming themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think that's a bad thing in that clubhouse when your players aren't performing, is for them to have and say, our performance this year just cost a guy we really like his job.
There's a flip side to that too, and I've mentioned this many times on the show about what Tony Muser said to me. I remember a couple of weeks before he got fired, I was sitting in his office and talking to him, and he said, "Listen, Pat, I'm going to get fired." He said, "I'll never quit because I'll never quit anything I do, but they're going to fire me. It's going to happen. It has to happen. They're going to do it." And he said, and they should do it. He said, because not that it's all my fault. He said, but, they asked, like, well, how do we fix it? He goes, you need to blow it up. Because I told them that. They didn't want to hear it. He goes, but I told them, you need to blow this thing up. This group is not going to work. And he goes, and they need to fire me because they don't want to hear it and they want to try to keep going with this. He said, well, that's fine, but you can't do it. Like, if you fire me, everybody starts fresh. He said, they'll blame everything on me, which they should. Things that were my fault, some of it is my fault. He said, but things that aren't, you blame it all on the guy who's on the way out, and then everybody gets a fresh start.
Yeah.
And it releases some of the pressure. And I remember that, for a guy that was talking about himself going down, and he understood the big picture. He'd been around baseball. He knew what it was, and he clearly saw that, look, he knew and he felt, and I don't think he did anything wrong. If you go back to the Glass family, now they were running things in. There was organizational, like spending $20,000 over 10 years in Latin America was a much bigger problem than Tony Muser pinch hitting in the 7th, right? So, but he understood that, like, at least for whatever this group is going to be, they'll be better if this happens. I don't understand, this organization for a long time has not seemed to get that until it's so far down the road beyond, like Cal Eldred went on and on and on and on. And I think that there was a feeling, and I'm wondering if John Sherman isn't going, like, wait a minute, Dayton Moore kept standing in the way of Cal Eldred, or Mike Matheny, or whoever it was that was standing in the way of moving on from Cal Eldred. Do I think Cal Eldred was given great pieces to work with? No, not necessarily. But, like, it was this continued crutch. Like, it was never, Brady Singer didn't really blossom until he was gone, right? Like, it never... Chris Bubich came around when he was gone. Like, it was never those guys' fault. Because it was always, well, Cal Eldred sucks, fire Cal Eldred. And when they didn't, the fans just harped on Cal Eldred. Now, in some ways, you're like, well, this will grow in the shade. He's taking all the bullets for these guys, so the pressure's off them. Well, it didn't work. And I think that's where we are really close. We're not to the Cal Eldred point, but we can see it from where we are with the Alex Zumwalt. I mean, I'm with you. I don't think Alex Zumwalt's a hitting dunce. I think he knows a lot about hitting.
Yeah.
I think he's got a lot of good things, and I'm not even saying he needs to be out of the organization. Maybe he just needs to be back in the old role.
Yeah, and I don't know if he would accept that, but, like, I actually, if I reached a point in the hitting coach, and I agree with you that, like, we've reached that point, that if it's not, we've reached a point where, like, that conversation needs to be seriously had. And if you do make that decision, I don't think the decision should be to fire him. I think it should be to reassign him, because I do think he brings. And I said this, I think, to you maybe a couple months ago, but NHL teams cycle through coaches like crazy, and it's
so
because
do EPL soccer teams.
And it's not because they think the coach is the problem or that the coach is bad. It's because the message just gets stale. Players know what to expect after a loss. They know what the message is going to be after a loss, and at some point, you just need a new messenger for it. I actually thought. Because J.J. Picola had mentioned to Annie Rogers for MLB.com during this road trip that the data doesn't support the mid-season coaching staff changes.
Yeah, there's no big
and
kiss that comes
with it.
with
First of all, I was intrigued for two reasons on that. One, that they actually consider this like an analytical decision as well, which I don't think is bad. But two, so you've gone down that path, huh?
Yeah, you've taken a look at it.
You've taken a look at it, like, which means you also think you're at a spot where you need to be considering some coaching changes that prompted you to think, okay, but what's the data say? Should we make this move? That means you had to get there first. Step one was you thinking that should be a possibility.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. We're talking right now with Sam McDowell, columnist for the Kansas City Star. We'll take a break. One more with Sam here in the program. Don't answer that now, Sam. Answer that later. By the way, are you almost done with Nate's book already? That's a quick
I'm
read.
skimming through it. It is a quick read, yeah.
You're what are you, like 150 pages in? Just in the breaks?
I started about halfway through, but yeah.
Okay. It is the program here on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Sam McDowell, columnist for your Kansas City Star, is with us here in the program, brought to you by our friends at Easton Roofing. They're online at eastonroofing.com. They got you covered with siding, gutter covers as well. Commercial, residential, they do it all. Easton Roofing, integrity matters. Find them online at eastonroofing.com. Sam, OTAs and minicamp are going on. We heard the coaches chat. What was your biggest takeaway from all of the talk? Was it Eric Bieniemy being back in the room? And
yeah, I mean, he definitely has a different presence on the field. I mean, practice is clearly different. Yesterday, for example, the starters were doing a 7-on-7 drill, which, Patrick Mahomes is participating in 7s, not 11s. So it's the first team, including Patrick Mahomes, and they had messed up a play earlier, but then they're just getting ready to line up. And first of all, anytime they're getting ready to line up too slowly, Eric Bieniemy is screaming, "Get set," to everybody on the field. But two receivers lined up in very similar spot, and so obviously one of them was in the wrong spot, and he kicked him off the field. And that includes Patrick Mahomes having to walk to the sideline. And so that is a different flavor to practice. How does that equate to wins and losses? I mean, I think we'll see. I think you've got to be careful. Careful is not the right word. I think you have to be strategic about how many times you do that before it no longer is effective. And maybe that actually happened here in his first stint here. But I also thought that he was better with us yesterday, because I will say the first time I asked him a question yesterday, he used the sign posted above the door, the help wanted all positions thing that we've heard so many times. But I actually thought if you weren't distracted by the line you've heard so many times, there was a lot of freshness to him that I think
I thought so too.
He'd gotten stale, I thought, in his first stint here.
We heard less of the at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I think he's even heard the catchphrases or the criticism.
And is he interviewing for a job anymore? I mean, I think that's part of it too.
That he's like, no, this job's pretty good. I've been around looking for it, and what I've had to do trying to get the head job, I value more what I had here, and so let's just focus on this.
Yeah, I mean,
that's interesting.
I think the time apart for both parties, for the person in the job who we're talking about, has allowed him to appreciate the job more, but I also think for the quarterback too, being away from has allowed him to want to be coached in that way.
Working at a job is not necessarily the same as a dating relationship, but when there's a breakup and a get back together, does the second stint usually last shorter, the same, or longer?
I don't know.
Shorter.
Is it?
Yeah, that's
statistically.
You remember real fast. You're reminded why.
Is that analytically based?
That's
I need to see the Fangraphs data on that.
That's personal experience right there. You're just like, oh yeah, this crap.
All right, how many teams have won 12 straight games in a single NBA postseason? Brought to you by La Feta Delicatessen.
Fourth quarter of the program begins right now as we finish strong here on a Thursday. Clouds rolling in.
Boy, howdy.
What does that make you think of when you see the clouds rolling in?
I don't know.
Royals baseball.
Royals back at it tonight, 6 o'clock. Well, I even just told you we'll do the Royals
I
first.
was thinking like a song or something.
Then we'll get to the
And the
NBA.
thunder rolls.
Kyle got it. Kyle figured it out all on his own. He wasn't even in here to hear me say we'll lead with the Royals
I'm not smart.
on the need to know. Royals at
That's an honest
Twins.
answer is what it was.
Yeah. Royals at Twins, 640 on Royals TV. Twinks are minus 102, Royals minus 116. So a mild favorite for the Royals as they send Seth Lugo to the bump against Andrew Morris,
Don't know who he is.
son of Jack Morris.
Is it?
I don't know. Why not? Let's throw a dart. How many people are really going to
Strong
look it up?
mustache game. Could be Jack Morris's kid.
Really?
I mean, he's got this.
We'll give it a Google. Maybe I back-assed into one.
Checking out.
Maybe I got lucky.
Does not say that. Though.
No, not related. Unrelated.
Former Big 12er, Texas Tech.
Okay, there you go. Lugo versus Morris. Royals coming off a series win with the Cincinnati Reds. The very difficult 4-game series
Yeah.
with the Twinkadinks before they get a day off, and then have the Rangers coming to Kansas City.
Yep. Rangers, and who else is on that homestand? Houston.
It's an all Texas affair.
Yep. Then to Washington for the first time in a while before welcome the Cardinals in a weird split 3-game series because they play Thursday, Friday, and Sunday because Saturday night is one of the World Cup games.
Okay. They also, I know one of those I've seen on the TV because, I watch the games, Curtis.
Mm-hmm.
They are going to have Monarchs. The Monarchs uniform is going to be that St. Louis one.
Cool.
And the St. Louis Stars will be what the Cardinals are wearing.
Nice.
And I like hats. I don't know if I've made that clear.
Yeah. I like hats too. I just don't look good in them.
Well, part of it's because you feel a need to wear them like this now. Like all of a sudden you become like Hal McRae.
I don't have a normal size head. If I pull it down further, it looks like I'm wearing a beanie.
You look like you put like one of the old batting helmet ice cream things on top of your head.
No, I pull it down there. I just don't have a normal size head.
You gotta put the hat on.
I do put
Buy
the
the
hat
proper
on.
size, fathead.
Find a size that fits me. It's either 80 grade dad hat like I'm Fred McGriff, or it looks like I should have a propeller on the top. You have a normal head. You have a good hat head. I do not. Hats have never liked me.
Last hat I remember you wearing. Well, when we were over at
The golf tournament.
the Corn Ferry.
I wore the USC hat that your wife kindly brought.
That's
up
right.
to me.
That's the last hat because Curtis was literally catching fire.
Yes.
Sitting in the sun.
Like a salmon.
In the Advent Health Championship right there at Blue Hills Country Club. It's not far. And so my wife ran over a USC hat.
Yep.
And we just gave it to you.
Yep.
Because once it's been on Curtis's head, you don't want to wear it.
Probably
Let's
not.
be honest. Just keep it.
Think all the places my head's been.
Just
I don't know.
mainly up your ass. And so, we don't want to.
Maybe that's why they don't. It doesn't fit. I've been trying for 40 years to figure out how to get a hat to look good on top of my head, and it does not.
Before that, you used to have a yellow Packer hat you'd wear every now and then.
Way back in. This is 20 years ago. I've had a few. They just don't work.
Well, anyway, my point being, I would like them, the 3930, the flex fits, and like New Era's is called the 3930. I'm a fan of that. That's what this is, I think. I don't know. No, this is a Nike one. But the Nike ones are kind of the same, too. They have the sizes, small, medium, medium, large, and large, extra large. And so I think they have a pretty good fit. I would like the Negro Leagues hats to come in that so I could get the modern fit. Yeah. And I would literally buy every Negro League hat out there. Not all at once, because, if a box that big shows up at my house and it's not shoes for the rest of the women in my house, like the whole world comes unglued.
Yep.
Where'd you get another hat, Dad?
Yeah.
Was it an autographed mini helmet?
Yes, both. Go mow the grass.
I buy something that's like, whoa, I can't believe we're spending money.
You even give your family members that voice.
Meanwhile, I have to climb over a mountain of shoes just to walk in from the garage, of which mine number 0 of the quantity that I'm walking over. I don't know if you understand this, but if you are female, you need 9 different sandals.
Well, yeah, it's got to go with your other accessories.
Yeah.
Right? Got to go with the 9 purses you have.
Did you buy another hat, Dad? You think you need another hat? I don't know. Do you need 14 flip-flops? I'm just saying.
Just saying.
But I kind of don't want to trample on the shoe buying that goes on in the house, because then I might have to trim down the hat buying. And so we found a
reasonably peaceful coexistence.
But I would like to see those Negro League hats in the 3930 version or the Flex Fit version, because I like the Negro Leagues hats. That STL one looks pretty cool too. Have you seen the Stars one they're going to wear?
I have not.
It's a big S with a little T that's the top part of the S, and then a big L, and it's blue and white. And I was like, oh wow! They had Bob Kendrick on doing the promotion for it, and they were showing. We've all seen the Monarchs hats.
Oh, cool!
But I thought the St. Louis Stars hat. I'm like, ooh, that's cool, because I'm not one of those people that hate St. Louis like most people in this town.
That what you're talking about?
Yeah.
That's neat. I like that.
And I was like, ooh, I'd like to get one of those. So just throwing it out there.
Speaking of,
how about New Era? Just make them for free to help out the Negro Leagues Museum, or Nike, or whatever companies. Who else does them? 30 or what's that? Old 39, old 20. There's somebody 47 brand. Yeah, that's what it is.
47 brand.
Yeah, let's make the Negro League hats with the modern fit and just donate them. That's your way of giving to the Negro Leagues Museum.
There you go.
And they can sell them.
Yep.
And I'll buy them.
Speaking of logos and designs, see the Rockets went a little retro. Announced
The Houston Rockets?
Yeah, unveiled today. They're going back to the
red and yellow.
Kind of the Olajuwon era, but with the modern, with their current typeface. But they're going back to adding the yellow to the. It looks pretty cool.
It'll be one of the 29 uniforms I wear, I'm sure.
Yeah. But you still won't be able to figure out who's playing in the game you're watching for 5 minutes.
We do know both
that happens
will be
frequently. I'm like, well, I recognize the court. I know we're at the Boston Garden, but I got no idea because Boston's wearing black.
Well, they're even screwing that up with their tournament thing. You can't. I don't know. Where are we? What are we in? Are we in? Is this the Running Man movie, or am I watching an NBA game? What the hell is going on here?
Is this a backgammon board?
We're getting to a point that 2 years from now, somebody's going to run out on the floor in a white uniform and be like, "Oh my God, that's so cool!
Wow,
white for a uniform." Oh,
when you see a regular game with the home teams in white and the road teams in their usual colored jerseys, or uniforms, you're like, wow,
yeah.
What is it? 1987.
The next step is every player's wearing a different version of the team uniform, and it's literally pickup ball.
Yeah,
it's like, let's get shirts and skins for God's sake, so we can at least have an idea who's on each other's team.
I can imagine.
Each got a different pair of colored shoes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh God, yes. Oh, socks. One leg of spandex.
Yeah,
just one.
One leg
Just
sleeve.
one.
Yeah.
Gotta have it.
Just one more thing to sell.
Mm-hmm. The Knicks took a commanding 1-0 lead in the NBA Finals. Let's hear from Knicks head coach Mike Brown. He was asked what makes Jalen Brunson, his leading scorer, so good in these difficult situations.
Yeah, he's a gamer, man. He in the biggest moments, he shows up, and that's what MVPs are supposed to do. We put the ball in his hands. We said we were going to live and die with him. He went and he got it done for us, and that's happened time after time after time after time. He got to his spots, and he made plays. Now, on top of that, our guys spaced the floor correctly. When you're playing against San Antonio and you have a defensive anchor like Wemby back there, your spacing has to be right. And if that ball gets sprayed, we know Wemby's in the paint. When the ball gets sprayed, guys got to make plays. And Josh was great with his quick DHOs. Guys were great shooting the ball. Guys were great having a second drive. And those are things you got to try to do against this team, because Wemby is going to gravitate towards the ball when you drive it.
If you just watched the fourth quarter of that game and then looked at Jalen Brunson's line, you'd be like, I thought he was better than that. But it isn't just what you do on a night. It's when you do it, and he did it.
Yeah, he can get 30 and have it look like, my God, is anybody else trying? Like, I'll give the Knicks credit. They got more going on around him now. And maybe I do think the Thunder would have been a tougher matchup for the Knicks. The Spurs are a tough matchup for the Thunder, but I think the Knicks match up much better against the Spurs than the Thunder did.
Yeah.
For one, Karl Anthony Towns, for as much as the New York City likes to malign him, is not seemingly afraid or intimidated by Victor Wembanyama, and Chet Holmgren looked like he needed a diaper when he was out there because he was going to wet himself every time Wembanyama came anywhere near him.
Yeah, 18 and 12 last night, plus 14, which was the second highest on the team. Josh Hart was plus 22.
Yeah, putting it on the deck, going right at him. Jalen Brunson was asked why his team is so calm when they do get down.
I don't want to say calmness, but I think we know what we have to do. I think we're a pretty together group. Be able to trust each other and still just continue to fight at each other's back and just know that we got to keep chipping away. It's just a credit to the mentality we have as a team. But, I mean, we can't just be satisfied with that. We have a long way to go. We have a lot of things we can do to be better. But I'm happy we came with a win.
Yep.
The question is that, look, I remember when the Timberwolves won the first game against the Thunder, and I listened to the whole ESPN crew the next day. I just don't know how the Thunder even win a game.
Yep.
It's like, it was a 1-point game, you fools.
Yeah.
This got to double digits, and it's the Knicks. It's the backyard of where all these people live who cover all this stuff. So I understand that there's going to be a little bit of preferential treatment. And again, they did win by double digits in the end. But for the most part, this was a close game. And to me, I felt like the Spurs ran out of gas.
They could have.
They may still be out of gas
up.
because they're such a young team. That youth, like, they got springy legs. Yeah, they're also not used to playing this late in the season. They're not used to playing on this stage with all the stars all around them and everything that's going on. I think it is possible that the Spurs tank is on empty.
Could be. Also, it's, and I'm not saying you're doing this, but all through this run the Knicks have had, there's always been something of a qualifier. They came back from 2-1 down, won 3 straight against the Hawks. The Hawks aren't very good. They swept the Sixers. Well, the Sixers weren't. It was the Sixers. Well, they beat Boston. Well, Boston didn't have Tatum. Well, they still swept the Sixers. Then they swept the Cavs. Well, the Cavs gave up. Now they throw a 10-point win on the road against San Antonio, and it's like at some point, like I think tomorrow night, they win tomorrow night. That's like the first game that you really can't attack from any angle. If they win tomorrow night, then you're like, all right, they are right now. They're a 12-game win streak, which, whatever you want to call the Sixers and the teams they've played, they're all playoff teams. They are plus 272 in that stretch. Now, they had a big game, but if you take the biggest win away, they still have the greatest point differential in NBA history for any 12-game stretch, regular or postseason. I mean, that's just ridiculous. That's hard to completely capture how dominant they've been. They're the 5th team ever to have 12 double-digit wins in a single postseason. The other 4 all won the championship. That's not, the 17 Warriors, 16 Cavs, 14 Spurs, 13 Heat. Those are all championship teams. So it's going to take winning the title for all this stuff to matter. If they don't, then it's like, wow, what a run they had. If they win the championship, 53 wins or not, it's going to be one of the greatest. It's probably the greatest postseason performance a team has ever had.
I do think it's also possible that this is Mike Brown. Is this his second year or first year? Mike Brown with the Knicks.
I can't remember. Let me see.
I'm trying to remember.
It's his first.
That's what I thought.
I remember us talking to Pete Sweeney about
the
coaching search last year.
Because it is also possible that this is when it all finally came together. It takes a little time for it to gel, and now they're going to gel. They're going to win the championship, and then next year they're going to win 65 games.
Yeah,
because they've found who they are in the rotation.
But the odds makers, the Spurs were a 4.5-point favorite last night. They're a 5.5-point favorite tomorrow. So I don't know what that means. You know more about this stuff than I do. But it wasn't like everyone went, "Whoa, the Knicks are really good." They got the overall series they've flipped to being the favorite because they're up 1-0 on the road. But everyone thinks the Spurs are going to win by a bigger margin.
Well, I think most people pick the Spurs to win the series, and so now I think it's like, okay, they had their bad game. now they're going to come back. I think that's what that is. I'm not reading too much into it. I really felt strongly that the Thunder were going to come back and beat the T-Wolves. I don't feel as strongly. I'm not convinced that the Knicks are definitely going to win the series, but like I do think the matchup is not great for the Spurs. Doesn't mean they can't overcome it.
Yeah.
But I think the pieces for the Knicks fit a little bit better. Spurs head coach Mitch Johnson said his team needs to be better in the paint on both ends.
Felt like some of that was bad offense on our part, and then some of that was, maybe at times not being able to square the basketball up and give the proper resistance, and then the offensive rebounds crushed us. 23 second chance points. We're up 1 point, I believe 93, 94, 94, 95. Get them to miss. They get a rebound. Brunson hits a three. They go on an 11-0 run. Makes it tough. Got to be able to close out possessions with rebounds when you make a miss.
Every time I hear Mitch Johnson talk, I just want to go, clear your throat, dude.
I don't think that's going to help.
And that's the graveliest voice, one of the graveliest voices I've ever heard. It makes me want to go.
Well, I don't think Victor Wembanyama, I think if you're on the Spurs and you're like, I don't know, maybe I should get off this, I don't think he's going 6 for 21.
Probably not.
A lot in this. But I do think the Knicks have a lot of things. One of the best guys they have is Jason Hart, who's like a Swiss Army knife.
Yep.
And doesn't care about scoring. There's a little bit of, I'm not saying he plays exactly like Dennis Rodman, but there's a bit of like, my game is all the other stats, and he gives you all the other stats. And then if you leave him wide open, he can knock down a three as well. But he can literally guard, a stretch five, but he can guard any four all the way to the point. And so that's a nice piece to have for the Knicks.
A glue guy.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
And it's not surprising he had the best plus-minus last night, which isn't one of those stats that tells all the story, but he was 1 of 5 from the field, but still had 15 boards, 13 on the defensive end, 6 assists, and 4 steals, and a block. He did everything.
Tonight, the Stanley Cup playoffs take center stage. Knights and Hurricanes game 2, 7 o'clock on ABC. You'll hear it right here on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Vegas up 1-0. Carolina minus 170. Vegas plus 140 in that game. If you're going to get down on it, that's what you're looking at in that game. And some NFL news for you. First Jaden Reed, now Christian Watson. Within a matter of weeks, the Green Bay Packers have extended their top 2 receivers on long-term contracts. Watson on Thursday agreed to a 4-year, $110.5 million extension. Includes a $31 million signing bonus. Adam Schefter with the report. This came after Reed signed a 3-year, $50 million extension. Watson, 27 years old, signed a 1-year, $11 million contract last September as a gap deal. He's never had 1,000 yards.
He's never had 650 yards. 6'11", 422, 620, 6'11".
It's like giving MVS.
In 4 years, he has 133 catches.
Yeah. So anyway, all right. Let's take a break. We will come back. We'll talk some Royals baseball. David Lesky from Inside the Crown joins us next here in the program.
The program with Soren Petro.
Come on, you commie pissant. Let's play some football.
Weekdays from 2 to 6 on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
Listen, I'm going to tell you where the people who have the best sports memorabilia collections go in Kansas City when they need something framed. They go to Art and Frame Warehouse, framekc.com. It's the only place I go. All of my sports memorabilia was framed at Art and Frame Warehouse. I had somebody who I might even say may or may not, was a former athlete, said, listen, I need something framed. I need it perfectly. Can you give me the number to your guys at Art and Frame? Hey, go to framekc.com. It's all right there. Get to 92nd and Metcalf. That's the great place to just walk right in. Great customer service, and they're true artists, really, when it comes to framing. They can frame anything. Yeah, they can do your family photos, mirrors, artwork. They do all that as well. But the sports memorabilia is a tough one, right? You want it framed perfectly. You don't want to damage the item. Taking care of it's a really important part of the equation. Art and Frame does that. Never damaging your items. Protect your collection. Go to Art and Frame. If you've got your favorite player autographed on a jersey, you want to make sure it gets taken care of, and Art and Frame will do that. They buy in bulk so they can keep their prices down, but you get gallery quality at warehouse prices when you go to Art and Frame. Don't settle for good enough. Get it done right. Go where I go. Go to Art and Frame Warehouse. Michael and the staff are absolutely fantastic. They'll design it up perfectly. Matching colors for the border and framing. They got all kinds of different options for that. The UV protective glass. How about the museum glass where it cuts down on the reflection selection, they can do it all. Man, if you mention 810, you can get major discounts on sports memorabilia and custom shadow boxes. Just go right now to framekc.com. That's framekc.com. They deliver, they install, and every piece comes with a lifetime warranty. Ask about that delivery and installation. It's worth every single penny and a lot more. Shh. Don't tell them that, but I'm going to tell you, there's nothing better than having them show up, deliver it in their truck, because those things are big when you frame a jersey, and they'll deliver it, and they'll install it perfectly. Go to framekc.com. Art and Frame Warehouse. Protect your collection.
Getting a little older doesn't have to mean, well, getting older. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if you're feeling low energy, can't sleep, can't lose weight, are struggling with brain fog, or your sex drive is off, it's time to change it up. At Heartland Men's Health, our advanced medical strategies featuring TRT, GH peptides, NAD+, GLP-1s, PDA, and more treat low T and other hormonal issues to help you shed pounds, have more energy, enhance your body composition, improve sleep, increase your sex drive, and so much more, getting you back in the game again. So don't be older. Be stronger in the gym. Be sharper at work. Be better in the...
Let's talk some Royals baseball. David Lesky from Inside the Crown is here. David, how are you, sir?
I'm good. How are you guys doing?
We'll be doing better.
They keep changing.
Which mic do you want?
If everyone went to that mic, it'd be no problem. But
was that it?
Should you want me on this one?
No, I don't know.
Not now.
I don't.
Well, I don't know.
We're good now.
I don't know.
Can we just rip one of them out?
You want me to use both of them?
That'd be kind of cool.
Do you want them on that one?
No.
Which one's better?
I just had the wrong one potted up.
Which one's better?
Lesky juked me out. That's all he did.
But which one's better?
I don't know.
If he talks on that one, then there's no.
Let's give the city the vote. Okay, give me a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on this.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Now give it to me on this one here.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I don't hear any difference. Do you?
I could have just moved it. I don't know why you had to roll over.
The reason why this mic is, it just makes this area, this space in between, you have the better sight lines because that mic isn't just hanging in the way. If that matters. There you go.
I don't care. Is that perfect? Okay.
Should we get? I think I want to get closer.
Let's do this. Why not?
Such a child.
Now it's in my face.
I'm in good company.
Boy, there's a shot at Kyle out of nowhere. What do you think? Is it all fixed, David? Yep. All right. We're out. We'll see you tomorrow at 2. Friday edition. Special Friday edition.
Royals World Series preview.
Yeah.
Cancel the rest of the season. They're fine. They're set.
No, what do we think? Are they? How optimistic should we be, or did baseball just happen and you back-assed into an extra win?
Kind of both, right?
Okay.
I mean, let's take a look at the whole picture. They were 19-21. At 19-21, we thought, oh, they're on the upswing. They have won 12 of 17, right? 12 of 17, and they were looking good. And then they lost a lot. I don't even know. So they're 19-21.
Well, 19-21.
They lost
them to.
They went 3-16 at one point.
And then so it was
5-17.
5-17. Okay.
So 4-17 before last night.
Okay. So
3-16 before the Red Series.
So the question that you'd have to ask is, were they a 3-16 team? And the answer is no. Were they a 12-5 team? And the answer is no. They're probably somewhere in the middle. So there's some middling even ground that comes through there. That you're going to likely see better baseball. But I think the bigger picture is that they've shown they're just not a very good team, right? At least the way they're currently constructed, the way they're currently playing, they're just not a very good team. And are they a terrible team? I still tend not to think so.
Yes.
By record, yes. But I still tend not to think they're a terrible team. I think that they're just not good enough. and I've said this before, probably I think on this show. I can't remember the show or the podcast. But I think we got so used to, not even used to, but I think teams like the 24 White Sox and the 25 Rockies made us believe that bad teams don't ever win. No, bad teams do win.
Right.
They win some games. I mean, if the Royals won 72 games this year, would we come on at the end of the year and say, that wasn't a bad team? No, we'd say it was a bad team, but they won 72 times. So they're going to win some games, and I do think that there's more talent on this team than they showed for the last 3.5 weeks. But the big picture is that they haven't shown enough.
They're Pythagorean. Their expected win loss is about where they are. It's 2 games better.
Right.
Last week, I think it was 1 game better. So by run differential,
probably
they're
all
about
the
where they
bottom
are.
feeders
Yeah.
and all the top end teams are all exceeding the Pythagorean, the direction that they are. It means you're maximizing the runs or minimizing the
That's
runs.
what the Royals used to do
when they come
really well when they were winning.
Yeah. Yep.
And I can't remember exactly how many there were, but when they had that 3-16 stretch, I looked at all the teams that had been exactly 3-16 in a 19-game stretch, and I ranked them by run differential. There were like 50 of them. The average run differential was minus 47.8. The Royals' run differential in that 19-game stretch, minus 48. It was right on the nose.
Yeah.
So by all metrics, even the bad metrics, they are what their record has been. There really isn't been a lot of bad luck.
No,
this season.
The way they've played is the way they've played. I just think that they're better than 3-6. I mean, I think we can all agree they're better than 3-16 is. What's the pace on that? I don't even know. It's worse than the Rockies and White Sox.
Yeah.
I think that if you look at this team and you go, okay, well, if you really think they're bad, do you think that they're 50 win bad or 70 win bad? I think it's probably closer to 70 win bad.
Yeah.
I tend to think they're a little talent-wise. They should be a little better than that. They're not. A little better is 75, maybe 76, somewhere in there.
Although I do hear a lot of people in my mentions, which of course is the pulse of the world.
Sure.
I hear a lot of it's people who want to line up with like the airplane movie with different clubs to beat Matt Quatraro over the head. There's way too much talent for this team to be this bad. I'm like, really? Where? I think There's a couple of the guys. There's some guys who could be. There's some guys who have been for stretches, but the idea that they got too much talent to be a team that's well below 500 to me is
the reality is that if Cole Reagans is hurt and not pitching well, and Chris Bubich is hurt or not pitching well, they're not good enough. Because those two, if the Royals are going to win, if they were going to win 95 games, they were going to get 64 starts from Reagans and Bubich. And that was never going to happen. And it's not going to happen now unless they go to a terrible idea rotation. If those two ever come back and go to like a 3-man rotation.
And if you're 30 homer, 100 RBI first baseman, you've got 600 OPS.
Right. And so, but I really think that the ceiling for this team is they either club the hell out of the ball, which they haven't done, obviously, because of a number of guys. We say underperforming. Who's the one guy who you think is actually underperforming? I think it's Vinny.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think we can look at Jack Caglione and say, well, we think he could be this. But he hasn't done it. We think Carter Jensen could be this. He sort of did it for, 4 weeks in September. Sort of.
We've reached a point that I think Bobby Witt Jr. is now underperforming.
He's underperforming, but not
almost a victim of his surroundings.
Sure, but not to the extent of terrible underperformance. He's just underperforming offensively. So he's still first in wins per replacement by a fair amount. But I think if you look. The reason that there was optimism for this team is for players that we thought would take a step forward. And in the case of Salvador Perez, a player we didn't think would take a giant step back, I don't know that you can look at a 36-year-old catcher and say, well,
we're stunned.
Who could have and so you look at the
same thing. We had so little, like Michael Massey is he even at 1,500 at bats, even though we're into the arbitration years with Michael Massey.
He's close, but I don't think
he's right around that ballpark. But Nick Lofton hasn't been up. Isaac Collins had just the 1 year in Milwaukee, and he exceeded the expectations of what that year was supposed to be. I think Milwaukee, it's clear.
At bats.
Yeah, it's clear that Isaac Collins, the Brewers thought a regression was coming. Yeah. Kyle Isbell's never really hit. And so, no, to your point, Vinny Pasquantino, and then Carter Jensen and Caglione have good pedigree.
Right.
But we don't know what they're going to be.
They've underperformed their ceiling, but not their reality yet.
And even Vinny Pasquantino, who has coming off a couple of good years, that's just about all we've seen from him because he got up so late. He was 30 and 100 last year. He was 20-something in 97 the year before that. But
he was 19. But in 5 months,
But that was it.
I think I think your point is a good one, that like they did overvalue and they did buy into all the best of the hitters being who they are and not accounting for the variance. Or they tried really hard, which we know they tried to add Brendan Donovan. Mm-hmm. But, more and more, there aren't a lot of good. Like, you used to be able to go trade for Joe Carter.
There's not that out
there.
You
could go trade for Fred McGriff. Even in this day and age of buyers and sellers, teams seem to only sell when it's the last year of a guy's deal.
Maybe two.
Yeah, and anyone young who can hit is immediately extended. Mm-hmm. And so then they're not available because they're part of that team's core. And so it really has been difficult for them to get their hitting. But so I think they are, they may have tried very hard, but they didn't try hard enough to improve the hitting. And I think they thought that they were good enough with it. And so I do think they overestimated that.
But real quick, let me ask you, do you think, was it fair to assume, I don't think they thought Carter Jensen was going to be what he was in September. But do you think it's fair that they could have assumed he was 80% of that, which he hasn't been?
Yeah, I think it's fair to have assumed that. And I think it is also fair, kind of somewhat to what Sam was saying, that it is possible that while you're the only guy who's really disappointing, underperforming is Vinny Pasquantino, I would say that just about everybody, though, is on the lower end of whatever their spectrum is.
For sure.
And so, I get it.
They're all in the 25th percentile.
Okay, so Bobby's going to have a year like last year and not like 2 years ago. Okay, Vinny's going to have a year like 2 years ago, not last year. And I'm with you on Salvi on his age, set him aside. But, could Kyle Isbell get a little better? Could Michael Massey get a little? Nobody is taking a step forward.
Massey has been his 24 self. The numbers are there.
Late.
Well,
overall, the numbers are there.
But
You get there with your whole numbers.
Dig a little deeper on this, which I did earlier today. Last 23 games, 323, 338, 919 OPS. So nice trend. But in 2024, he had a 24-game stretch where he had a 959 OPS. He also had a 22-game stretch later where it was 548.
Well, and that's the thing with Massey.
And his point is that he's being Massey, not that he's taken a step forward.
Right.
And in 23, he had a 24-game stretch where he had a 970 OPS. Yeah. And he had a 22-game streak right after that where it was 398. So I love 919 over his last 23.
The plate discipline is so
There's
bad.
no idea that it's going to be.
Oh, no. But
I'm not saying you are, but it's been a lot of Massey's on a streak. We've seen this movie.
I think what I was getting at, that Massey, right now, I just looked, he has a 104 OPS plus, 4% above average in that stat. And he is like, what, one of two guys performing as you'd hope?
Well, and I do agree with you that, Massey's not the problem because Massey wasn't the answer.
Right.
Right? We've started talking about where these guys should hit if this was a club that could beat the Dodgers in a 7-game series. Not be favored, just could. There was a scenario where they could beat the Dodgers. Bobby Witt would probably hit 2nd. Vinny would probably hit 5. Maikel Garcia would hit 6 or maybe 7, 8, 9. Like, they got in their head that what Maikel Garcia was coming down the stretch, that's who he is. He's a number 1 hitter. Bobby's a 2 hitter. Vinny's a 3 hitter. Salvi's a 4 hitter. Salvi should be 7, 8, 9.
Sure.
They don't have 1, 3, or 4. And if 1, 3, or 4 is slotted in here, then I can make these other guys fit.
Mm-hmm.
If Vinny's 5, I can make them fit. If you're going 6, 7, or even 6, 8 with Caglione and Carter Jensen, okay. I mean, it's not very often that a guy comes up and immediately you want him to bat in one of those top spots. That's the failure of the team again, is that they don't have 1 through 4 figured out without it being guys that really should not be asked to do that at this point in their career. Now, I do think that they're overdue to have a guy come up and just be him right away. Have Mike Piazza's rookie year. Have Albert,
Nick Kurtz.
Yeah, Nick Kurtz. Just come in, and maybe that's just have Carlos Beltran's rookie year.
Yeah.
Okay? Be 80% of what you're going to be, and be it all year. Don't have it be one hot stretch with these moribund 35 games of nothingness. Just come on, and they just don't seem to be able to do it, to which I'm tired of talking about. We go round and round about it, and at the end of the day, no one is held accountable for their inability to hit.
Yeah. Because, and this is not me saying I'm with them. This is me saying the reason that doesn't happen is because it feels like right when there is about to be accountability, they go and hit. And they shouldn't.
Well, that's what I think is going to happen. They're going to take 3 out of 4 from the Twins.
Agreed.
They're going to be like, we were 5-2 in our last 7, so we're not making any changes. And then they make excuses for the 25 games that they suck, and then they have one good series.
And then the Rangers, who can pitch, come here and they score 4 runs in 3 games.
It's why, and it's like I'm sure Michael Massey could have been worked into a deal somewhere, but Massey, have you seen the power? He does for like a month, and then for another 2 weeks someplace else. But the rest of it is can't get on base.
Yeah.
And
because he doesn't provide value when he's not hitting home runs.
Yes.
And that's the problem. Which it's not a huge problem if you've got 7 guys who can hit.
If he's your 9 hitter, great.
Well, he's the same as Isbell in that way. I don't have a problem with Kyle Isbell playing against all righties hitting 9th because he plays really good defense.
Yeah.
He occasionally he does enough offensively to provide value. You need to have 7 other guys. I'm not going to say 8. You need to have 7 other guys who can hit. And look, even if you wanted to go Massey 8, Isbell 9, if you had 7 guys, you can make that work because Massey's good at second base. He'll hit a home run every 5. No, that's not right. Probably every 7 games. Isbell's good enough really good defensively in center field. Underrated, honestly. That he'll do enough. He'll put a bunt down. He'll have a 3-hit game here and there. He'll occasionally hit a home run. If you've got 7 other guys, but right now they've got 1. Vinny's been better-ish as of late without the power, but they don't have enough.
Let's get into the bullpen. We'll do that next. David Lesky is with us from Inside the Crown. That's where you can read his great work, Inside the Crown. We're talking Royals baseball with David here in the program.
The program with Soren Petro.
Too fat to run.
Weekdays from 2 to 6 on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
Listen, is it that time, I guess I should say, to ask that most important question? You know what comes with it? A beautiful ring. You need a great engagement ring. And Jocelyn's Jewelry has been putting smiles on brides and grooms' faces for almost 50 years. Located at 95th and Antioch. You can find them online at jocelynsjewelry.com. They've got almost 1,000 engagement rings to choose from. Gary's diamonds are brilliant cuts. They scintillate. Good cuts aren't good enough for Gary. He has only excellent cut diamonds in his store. Gary's diamonds are always more brilliant. If he wouldn't put it on his wife's finger, it's not in the store. So if it's time to make that most important purchase, get the Jocelyn's Jewelry at 95th and Antioch. How about birthdays? Birthdays are happening all the time. You know, they got those wonderful birthstone pieces, hundreds to choose from in each one of the birthstones. So if it's time to buy that birthday gift, maybe some of those birthstone pieces, tennis bracelets, pearls, stackable necklaces, diamond stud earrings, they have those as well. Happy to do repairs, also happy to do appraisals, everything that a jeweler would do. You know, he repaired my ring. So give me that thing. I said, Gary, you can't fix this thing. It's been dented for 20 years. Made it perfect, made it look brand new. He's an absolute genius when it comes to jewelry. His staff are absolutely fabulous. You're treated like family the moment you walk in the door, and nobody knows more about jewelry than Jocelyn's Jewelry. That's why all the municipalities, when they have a seizure of jewelry, is it costume jewelry? Is it the real thing? What do we got here? They take it to Jocelyn's Jewelry. You know that if the police and the feds are taking the jewelry there to find out what it is, you know you can trust Gary Joslin as well. You know, he's voted the #1 jewelry store in Kansas City by Ingram's Magazine for a reason. So don't wait. Get to 95th and Antioch. Find him online at joslinsjewelry.com.
Paid for client portrayal and endorsement. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Give me one good reason why I should call DM Law.
How about 3 great reasons? 1, it's easy. 2, it's fast. 3, the results.
Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this. SSJ here for Plaza Aesthetics and Wellness. Dr. Botros, what would you say is the most important thing that people should know?
What separates us is that we deliver beautiful natural results with all procedures overseen by a board-certified physician. It's a higher level of aesthetic care, just like we did for Susan and your girl.
All right, the La Feta Delicatessen into the hour answer. How many teams have won 12 straight games in a single NBA postseason?
Warriors.
Yeah, they did it because they got all the way to where they just lost the one in the finals.
Yep.
Did
yep.
the
Moses Malone Sixers?
Did one of the Duncan and Robinson Spurs do it?
Now I'm going to say 3.
Yes, it is 3. 2017 Warriors won 15 straight. They won the first 15 games, and then Cleveland irritated me by winning a Game 4 before finally falling Game 5. So what was that all about?
What a waste.
Wow.
Spoiled a perfect 16-0 postseason. 99 Spurs won 12 straight. Knicks have won 12 straight. What's interesting is the Knicks ended the Spurs streak. Now the Spurs get a chance to end the Knicks streak.
Did you hear Curtis?
Then they probably will not win the NBA title.
Did you hear Curtis's first end of the hour question? The last time the Knicks lost, it was not the lead story.
Oh, it was OJ, wasn't it?
No.
Oh, no,
yes, you're right. The last time the Knicks lost,
not in the finals.
You've nailed
this
it.
Year.
They have not lost for 30 years.
There are other OJ stories.
Yes,
30 years.
That's right.
I mean, what a run the Knicks
It
are
was the
on.
last time they had a lead in a finals game was when it was the OJ.
when they were up 3-2.
That's right.
Who's OJ?
Yeah, it was OJ. They haven't played for a while, have they?
No. No. Do you remember the what was the lead story? Just put it in timeline because the date's May 23rd, right? It was day one of the NFL draft.
April 23rd.
Or April 23rd.
It was the first round of the NFL draft.
It was the first round of the NFL draft. That was the
that was the story. Oh, okay.
It was at the NFL draft.
We were all sitting. I remember
That's
I was
crazy.
sitting where you sit, which is why I usually sit because Mark Bill Richter sits here, and I was going, "Oh wow, Knicks lost again. They're down 2-1." That's amazing.
It was not
they're
the
in
OJ
trouble.
trial.
It was not the OJ trial. No.
The OJ chase and Game 4, I think, of the NBA Finals.
Knicks Rockets.
That was
their last series.
Because Costas was talking about how I'm going back and forth. I'm at the game, and OJ's doing this.
All I heard you
throwing
say was
chase
last
scenes.
Knicks, and I stopped listening. Because, whatever.
Knicks were also just the third team in pro sports history to play back-to-back games in a championship round against the same team more than 25 years apart. Odd stat, but the last time they played an NBA Finals game, it was the Spurs. The St. Louis Blues and Boston Bruins played the Bruins 49 years apart, but back-to-back Cup final games for the Blues against the same team. And the Pirates played back-to-back World Series games against the Yankees 33 years apart, 27 and 60.
The Royals were only a couple of games away from that in 14.
Pretty close.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they'd played, that would have been
29
almost
years.
29 years.
Yeah.
Not wild.
I'm trying to think. Oh, for the Cardinals?
Yeah, because that was the
that's right.
yes.
Giants beat the Cardinals, yeah. The bullpen.
It's not good.
Daniel Lynch. Why have they been resistant to closing with Daniel Lynch? Is it because they're trying to showcase him for a trade? Is it because they don't think he's that good? Why not give Daniel Lynch a try? He came into a high leverage situation yesterday. I'm not saying that they used him wrong yesterday, but like they went to Alex Lang finally on the closer end. More so because Ursek, I don't think was available based upon how much he pitched of late. Then it was like, okay, let's give somebody else the role.
If that game stays 3-2, do they go to Lang at 3-2? How much did
he was warming up at 2-2. He was warming up when the inning started.
Yeah, I think he was going to be the guy.
That's good.
I think he was going to be the guy. I think Lynch will get in the rotation now. The rotation of closers.
Okay.
Sorry.
I was like,
I should have said that.
Got some breaking news here.
Well,
No.
That's interesting.
I think that that it made more sense for him to pitch in the 8th yesterday because that was the 2-2 game and keep it 2-2. And I'd have to go back and look to see who was coming up. But
were you surprised, or was it just kind of fit the profile that Quatrero, when asked the next day, said he's not taking Ursek out of the rotation of guys to close games? He still has faith, or was that just he's just not burying his player?
Here's the thing: Matt Quatrero's not going to bury a player publicly. I think we all
bury himself before he buries his player.
I think we can all agree with that.
Yeah.
I hope that's all it was, because I don't have a problem if Lucas Ursek goes in low leverage and gets it together because he's a talented pitcher, and they don't have a closer.
He hasn't really been the same.
He had not since the back injury last May or whenever it was, April, May. But still, he's talented. He throws 98. When he's locating, he's good. I mean, he's no longer the guy who who can have his D game and still get a scoreless inning. Which, okay, fine. They don't have anybody who is that guy right now. So I don't have a problem if he works his way back to being effective in the same way that Alex Lang is effective and John Schreiber. If he becomes the hot hand, ride it. Because at this point, that's all they have is a hot hand. And if they don't, and if he's the hot hand, let him be that guy. And if he's not, don't let him be that guy. But right now he's not. So if they have a 4-2 lead tonight, I don't think that, and they use Urseg, I'm going to be annoyed.
Here's how bad it's been. He's blown 6 saves in only 24 appearances. I looked this up. Only 2 other pitchers in MLB history had more blown saves in a season with fewer than 30 appearances. Bill Campbell for the Twins in 78. That goes back a ways. Billy Wagner for the Astros in 2000. But only 4 of Wagner's and 4 of Campbell's were in potential game-clinching situations. A couple of them came in the 7th or whatever. All 6 of Urseg's have been, and all 6 have been starting the inning with a clean inning.
Yeah.
And he has 6.
And you look at that and you say, okay, what's the Royals' record with last year's bullpen? And that just makes it more infuriating because you're like, even if, let's say they win 5 more games, which I think is probably a fair estimate. Or they're 24 and 38, 29 and 33. We're not having any of these conversations if they're 4 games under 5. Well, they're not, and we are. So
no,
the Urseg stuff is crazy though too, because in his last 4 games he's given up 9 runs on 14 hits, and in his first 20 it was 9 runs on 15 hits
in like 3 innings.
Yeah,
and it was his last 4.
Yeah, because he didn't get a single out.
3
in one of them.
innings.
Yeah,
that was a game. It was a game in Texas where he didn't retire a single batter and gave up 3 runs.
We can agree that Stephen Kolek has a spot in the rotation. Can we agree with that? Until
100%.
Something drastically changes. Like if Reagans and Bubic and Andy Rogers has a report out there saying that Reagans is playing catch and progressing well and feels good. Chris Bubic is on a regular bullpen schedule. Carlos Estevez continues to play catch and is on track with his progression. Still in the early stages there, right? And I appreciate that update. It means nothing to me. I'm not saying her reporting is excellent. I'm not saying that. But I'm just like, until you head out on a rehab assignment, I don't care.
Agreed. Bubic is more interesting because at least he's in the bullpen.
Reagan's got to the rehab and had to be shut down. Yeah. Estevez got to the rehab, had to be shut down. Bubic didn't even get to the rehab. So, they're not even on the radar screen. But if one or both of them, it takes both of them to get him out of the rotation.
Right.
If both of them come back, he's not the guy that's leaving the rotation.
Shouldn't be.
How could it be? How could you with a straight face? I mean, if he does, you should, He's out of the rotation, and Alex Zumwalt's still the hitting coach.
Yeah. What?
I don't know how you could come to work if you're a Royals player.
No. 11 career starts with the Royals. He's had a quality start in 9 of them. And at some point, you get to the point where the book is starting.
I thought it was all but 1. Is it all but 2?
No, it's 2
all
now.
but 2
the Texas
year.
one and the White Sox one this year.
Yeah,
but I think it's 2 runs or fewer in 7 of them.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
7 or 8. Anyway, he's in the rotation. And the thing about Kolek is it's not. That is I know he's 29, but he's young. He's has years of control.
Fewer than 200 career innings.
Young
so
and
he's doesn't have a lot
experience.
of miles on his arm.
That's both for
Came
this
up at
year and
27.
the future. Because you got to figure out, can he keep this up? And if he can keep this up for 20 more starts, because it is just like 19 or 20 more starts, it would be, then you've got a rotation spot next year. 100%. I mean, you probably do. I feel like we feel pretty good anyway.
Are we? Why would you bring both Chris Bubic and Cole Reagans back and just give them the spot in the rotation? I mean, Reagans I would listen to much more than I would Bubic.
Agreed.
Because at least Reagans had a Cy Young caliber season. Chris Bubic has not made it through a year as a starter. There's no reason for him to just have his spot handed back to him.
There is one argument, and
trade value.
Yes, trade value, and I don't know. I mean, I see it. I get that, but I also think if you put Chris Bubic in the bullpen, where he's been successful, very successful, there's trade value there too, especially at his salary. So, and arguably more, because if you don't think he's going to start a playoff game for you, you're more valuable as a reliever in a trade.
I would ask you, what do you think they will do when they have both those guys back? But I really don't think there's any chance they're going to get both those guys back.
I'm not too concerned about it.
I mean, I think
it's possible one goes to the bullpen anyway, if they do get both back. So
then I'll ask you. So is that what you think they'll do? They'll put one of those 2 guys in the bullpen?
I do. I think so.
Which one?
Probably Bubic, but maybe it should be the other way around.
Yeah. All right. We'll see. They got a chance. They go play the Twins. That's winnable games. See if
Gotta
it's
win 15 in a row.
Hittable staff.
Go see if it's going in the right direction. David, great stuff as always. We appreciate it. We'll talk to you again next week.
Thanks, guys.
David, the Crown. That'll do it for us.